Ladies and gentlemen, what's poppin' with you? This is your boy Sim, and that right there was Lottery Odds, and the name of that song was Paper Planes. And of course, you can hear that in other songs, other music on the 24/7 hip hop live stream. And as a matter of fact, we're broadcasting on live stream right now. Savvy, my brother, we're stepping up, bro.
For real, man, for real.
Yo, I mean, like, yo, I'm telling you, man, we are stepping into, check it. So check it out. I have it set up now so that I could be playing music all the way through, and whenever we jump on to do a live stream, I could live stream to both of them. Right? And that stream never goes down, but then I can, I'm not going to say I set it up. I understand how to do it now. Then we can jump right around, boom, and get back on and get back into the music. So it's super
Seamless
dope, man.
Transition.
Exactly. Seamless transition without any hiccups and nothing like that. So it's happening. It's coming. We just got to get some people in that 24/7 stream. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We just got to do it. But yo, today's show, man.
They're missing a lot of good music. I ain't gonna lie. Like they're kind of sleeping on that stream. I was listening to it.
It's some music on it, man. Some dope music on there.
Some dope tracks on it.
Yeah, stop sleeping on it, ladies and gentlemen. Get in there. Stop sleeping on it. Get in there. Talk it up. I don't care what you talk about. You can talk about a lot of Knicks fans. You can talk about the Knicks. You can talk about the election. You can talk about me. If you don't like the way I look, I don't care. Talk about what you want to talk about.
The streamers go on.
You know what I'm saying?
Whatever you want.
YouTube is talking smack about me every day. I don't know what the problem is.
Straight up hating.
Bro, YouTube is getting on my nerves.
YouTube be stuck on stupid sometimes.
Yo, YouTube is getting on my nerves. Video not suitable for most advertisers.
Bro.
It's killing me, bro.
It's because of me. It's my fault.
You guys see the title, man.
For the ads, man.
You guys see the title. Video not suitable for most advertisers. I just needed to rant a little bit today about that. Big Freezy, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
I'm good, boss man. How y'all?
Good, man. I'm good. I just needed to rant about that a little bit. Savvy, Freezy, I just needed to talk about it because, all right, so you know I got the 24-hour stream, right?
Right.
It's been up since September the 18th. All it's doing is playing music. Music, right? Independent music. That's it. Just independent music.
Right.
There's nothing obscene. It's nothing crazy. The title doesn't say anything obscene besides 24/7 hip hop and R&B.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Video not suitable for most advertisers. I don't get it. I'm not understanding it. Big Freezy, you got something going on in the background. I'm not exactly sure what it is. It's going. It's like your voice, your video, your sound is going in and out, in and out. So, whatever you did last week, though, that joint was nice and crispy clear. Whatever you jumped on, I don't know if you jumped on your phone or whatever it was nice and clear. Video too looked good. But every time I post a video, automatically it says video not suitable for most advertisers. I have a 24/7 music stream, just music. Video not suitable for most advertisers. Guess what? Guess what alert I got for this stream right here, right now? Video not suitable for most advertisers.
Telling you, man, we too hot for YouTube, bro. We breaking through the mold, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're not supposed to be talking about these topics.
I guess not. And I guess I'm not supposed to talk about videos that are not suitable, or YouTube making my video not suitable for most advertisers. I don't get it, because the only thing that's in the title of this video It says hip hop society and life. Video not suitable for most advertisers. That's it. / Lovecraft Country, because we're gonna talk about that. So this is what happens, right? So I gotta click the button and ask them to review the video. Right? They're gonna review the video, and then the $, because this is what happens. So let me break it down to you for those who don't understand what I'm talking about. You post a video, and then YouTube reviews the video. The algorithms reviews the video, and it says whether or not your video is suitable for advertisers. They base it on the title of the video. So if you use something in your video like war, destruction, it's not going to be suitable for most advertisers, right? It's not going to be suitable. So you'll get your $, you know, because once you turn on your monetization, the $, turns green. Once the video becomes not suitable for most advertisers, the $, turns yellow. Then it says, click here so you can get a manual review. Click it. Get a review. 2 or 3 days, the video is now suitable. After they've reviewed it, it's now suitable for most advertisers. But guess what? Especially when you're covering hip hop, the story fades away after a day or two. Story no longer exists. Yeah. Nobody cares about that story no more. Right? Nobody cares about it no more. So, after they take 2 or 3 days to make your video suitable for advertisers, you've lost valuable revenue. Because what they do is, when they say you're suitable, it's not, when they say your video is not suitable for most advertisers, they put limited ads on your video because they're saying that advertisers don't want your content. Advertisers don't want to be here because, you know, it's a racy topic.
That's why they gotta let us do direct business to business deals for who's gonna advertise.
They're not doing that. You know YouTube's not doing that.
They ain't never gonna do that.
You know what I mean? YouTube's not doing that.
Punk ass.
So that's what they, you know, that's what happens. So I have a stream, 24/7 stream, and all it says is 24/7. The best underground, what's it say? The best underground hip hop and R&B 24/7. That's it. What is wrong with that name, YouTube? Nothing. Nothing's wrong with that name. And then the music, I don't pick raunchy music. I mean, there's some cursing in it, but we've had videos and streams that have more cursing than what's in the music that's on the live stream. Still says this video is not suitable for most advertisers. This video here, it says this video is not suitable for most advertisers. You know what I've come to the conclusion though? Because with my Knicks channel, it doesn't happen. It don't happen with the Knicks channel. With the Knicks channel, it's just good, right? I put it out there, bam, no problems at all. I've come to a conclusion. It's hip hop. They feel what you say?
They're anti-hip hop. Go on, tell it.
Listen, they feel like because it says hip hop that there's going to be gun talk, there's going to be drug talk, there's going to be women shaking their ass all over the place, right? There's going to be content about criminal behavior. It's going to be ignorant stuff. Hip hop, I'm telling you, that's what it is.
And I gotta say something. Just because all of that stuff comes with the presence of Savvy D doesn't mean it's necessarily hip hop related. All right? Like, you might find that Savvy D's presence elicits talk and thoughts of all of these topics, right? I like myself some gun talk. I like women. I won't say no more than that. But I am not analogous to hip hop. You feel me? Don't blame the hip hop for what Savvy D does in his free time. It's messed up.
I'm telling you, man.
That's tantalizing.
YouTube. You gotta get your shit together, bro. Get your shit together, YouTube. I'm telling you, man. It has to be that because it's hip hop, they automatically say this video is not suitable. It has to be. That has to be the reason. Has to be the reason, man. And you know, it's just been bothering me because it's happening video after video after video. And eventually, you know, they clean it up and get the advertising out there. But I feel like they're looking at it because it's a hip hop channel and it's a hip hop, you know, we're having conversations about hip hop and rap. I feel like they automatically put that label on there that it's not suitable for most advertisers. This video right here, and all it says is hip hop society and life, semicolon, video is not suitable for most advertisers. Now, why would they make this video not suitable for most advertisers? You feel me? That's how they're doing it, man. Get it together, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Let's not, you know, let's not perpetuate propaganda about hip hop, because that's what I feel like YouTube is doing.
Right.
That's what I feel like they're doing.
It's the way that certain lives don't matter. Like if you here live that hip hop lifestyle or you come from that hip hop culture, advertisers don't care to cater their products towards you. Maybe you just give your money to them blindly without advertising. It's probably what they want. But I got news for them though. Our lives matter. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop lives matter. You know, black lives matter. You know what I'm saying? Just because you don't want certain things to be influenced the short dollar. You know, if we take our long dollars away, then they'll come a begging, like doing big commercials and such for our communities and such. Yeah, I just find it to be inept and disgraceful, and not a true representative of what should be catered to us anyway. You know, why should we go search them out when they should be searching for us? They have the service, we don't. So why should we go search for them when they go search for everybody else?
And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy is all of these advertisers that were apparently not suitable for, and there goes Heavy D on the screen. Oh, he took him off. Hey, Breezy, show him that picture one more time. Show him that picture one more time. Take your video off for a minute. Take your video off for a minute. Don't that look like Heavy D? I'm telling you right now, that video straight up looks like Heavy D, Breezy. I'm telling you, it looks like Heavy D. It's just like Heavy D. Run diddly 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 dee. But here's the thing. I guarantee you, most of the advertisers that they're talking about, they use hip hop to sell their products.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. The biggest genre in the world, baby.
They use hip hop lingo, hip hop music to sell their products.
Yeah.
Especially if they're trying to sell to the black community.
Right.
But according to YouTube, a hip hop channel or a hip hop video, they've got to throw that tag on there that says this video is not suitable for most advertisers. At least from the beginning, right? Until they review it. They got to check it first. Pisses me off, man.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Yeah, that's frustrating.
Pisses me off. And that live stream, that 24/7 live stream, it's been up since September the 18th. They had taken it off. Then all of a sudden they put it back on to say that it's not suitable for most advertisers and that it's up for manual review. And usually the manual review happens in a day or two. Well, it hasn't happened. It's still there. And I contacted them, and the people that I contact, all they can do is, tell me, spit back at me whatever is in their book. You know what I mean?
Company policy, right?
Yeah, company policy. Can't really say anything else. You know what I mean? So YouTube, look, I know, YouTube, that you're going to have to look at this manually and make a decision as to whether or not this video is suitable for most advertisers. Okay? And YouTube is known for... Don't be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, if this video is snatched down. You know what I mean? Because, anytime, if you come at YouTube, they will try to snatch it down.
Right.
Yep, they will do it.
Listen, man, well, it's totally yours to quit playing.
Right. Come on, man. Video. Now, there's so many more things that's not suitable for most advertisers. Savvy, you know what else is not suitable for most advertisers? Last Friday, was it Friday? Last Thursday, whenever it was, when we were gonna live stream Tory Lanez.
Yep.
Yeah.
Making his, finally speaking out about Meg Thee Stallion.
I got time today.
You know what I mean? That was not suitable for most advertisers. The way he did it, what he did.
Weak ass album.
I didn't listen to it. I didn't listen to it either.
But I heard somebody listening to it, and they were caping for this guy. And they showed me a verse, and I was like, I'm glad I ain't bumped that shit. You know why? Well, you know what? Go on, roll the topics, and we'll touch upon.
Hey, this is it, man. This is the topics, man. What's not suitable for most advertisers? That's what I want to know. Who else is not suitable for most? Well, let's finish with Tory Lanez, though.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I don't know, Freezy, if you know what he did, but all right, so you know what he did. We were live. Me and Savvy jumped on live, because we were gonna stream it, and then obviously he did what he did and made an entire album, from what I hear, about that situation with Meg Thee Stallion.
Listen, man.
You know what? Listen, it's nothing. He used the situation as a marketing tool, right? Mm-hmm. He didn't do anything illegal, but it was just bad taste.
Poor taste. Absolutely
poor taste.
And it's like, I wondered who it was for. Just for his fans, like if you're going to address it, don't you want the masses to consume it the way that it's understandable to everybody, as opposed to making them go listen to a whole album of content, a lot of which doesn't even touch upon the exact subject itself? Like, yeah. Or maybe shut the hell up and deal with your case, bruh.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was just poor taste. Poor taste. What do you think, Freezy?
I think that motherfucker soft. I just can't, dog. I just can't. These dudes, man, with their takes and the stuff they put out there for. I'm not doing no. Maybe it's the old school in me that makes me disconnect from some of this stuff. Man, but come on, dog. When a guy's gonna stand up and start being, so the deal is, I don't want to talk about the stuff that I saw he put out there. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he's a sucker. You know what I'm saying? For some of the stuff, not only for what he did, but the way he handled it. I
feel you.
It frustrates me. It frustrates me that boys are looking up to this cat, like boys that are 10, 11, 12 years old, looking at this dude, and then in their mind they are thinking that this is the right thing for men to do.
Right.
That frustrates me, man.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you know, and you know what? YouTube, I guarantee you there were videos all over YouTube, and they were all suitable for advertising.
Right.
Yep.
Right. They were all suitable for advertising. I had to change the name of that though, because at first I had Tory Lanez speaks out. That's all I had. Tory Lanez speaks out on Megan Thee Stallion's situation. I had to change that because the video hadn't even started yet, because it said speaks out. I had to take speaks out, and I had to put different words in there. Because they made the video not suitable for most advertisers. So I had to take out speaks out and say, I forgot what I said. Tory Lanez, whatever I said. I had to take that out.
So this is kind of like a confluence of two different things. Like the thing with YouTube. So I already know from experience, they want everything to be as mainstream as possible, right? But then at the same time, they want to take advantage of the celebrity and the viewership of cats like Tory Lanez, even though it might be ugly, right?
Right.
But let me ask you this: how did you feel about the way Tory Lanez handled the situation with the girl?
You know what? I feel like if he didn't have anything to say that was going to be like, and not put in a song, but really speak on it, you know what I'm saying? Speak to people about it. If he didn't have anything to say that was going to be fruitful, just don't say anything at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just don't say anything, and let it play out the way that it's going to play out, you know, either in legal battles or whatever it is. You know, don't make a mockery.
Right.
You know? And definitely, and don't use it.
Day, man,
yeah.
I have a daughter that's about Megan Thee Stallion's age, right? Somewhere in the early 20s, I'm gonna just say, right? And she gonna go through. My daughter's gonna go through. Shout out to Kenya if she's watching, but she gonna go through her thing with relationships and stuff with dudes. A lot of stuff I'm gonna not agree with. Some stuff I am. The main thing I want, you know what I'm saying, my girl to do is have a healthy and stress-free life, right? But at the same time, it's going to be dudes like Tory Lanez that's going to be out there. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be trying to do whatever. And for me to see a cat to do that kind of like turns my stomach a little bit, because I think we get away from common decency and respect for others and things of that sort, because we get into our feelings over the fact that we may look bad publicly. You know what I'm saying? It's just, to me, it's a frustrating thing to see something like that happen. And I'm not knocking young men for being in a bag and being all drippy and full of swag and all that stuff and looking at. What I'm saying is, it's frustrating to watch, watch stuff like this play out, and then expect other races to respect us for being, the humans that we are. You know, it's frustrating to me that because I watched. It's, instead of being like an old curmudgeon, I look at everything Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion, and it was some of that stuff is cringeworthy, man. Like, why is nobody not going to this dude and it's like, yo, why don't you just show some class here? You know what I'm saying? Do you have to make money off this? You know what I'm saying? Is building your brand more important than, your self-esteem, your self-worth, your self-respect? I mean, it was frustrating to me. So
yeah, that was
but I'm a curmudgeon though, so I'm an older cat. I'm in my 40s, so dudes that's young be like, oh man, you talking that old school stuff, man. I'm like,
some of them won't though.
No, we're not.
Okay.
Hey, listen. A real one and a sucker comes in every single age.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
He was a sucker when he was a kid. He's gonna be a sucker as an old man. He's not gonna grow out of being a sucker, and I'm never gonna grow into being a sucker.
True words. Right. True words.
And I don't give anybody any excuse to generalize that man's behavior over the whole race. Nah, bump that. All right, because we have plenty of shining examples of fantastic people that they could easily generalize the greatness over the the whole race, but they don't.
That's
a whole different
even thought
issue.
about that. That's a good point.
And that's a whole different issue that I'm not even gonna get into. All I'm gonna say is, there's Tory Lanez. There's a bunch of people calling him out, telling him he's being a sucker. But guess what? This type of thing's always gonna happen because guys only care about one thing, and that's the dollar. And as long as they know I could turn this controversy into streams or into sales or some kind of a revenue, it's going to keep on happening because integrity doesn't come as a bundle with birth. Okay, some people have it and some people don't.
Nah, you're right. You're right about it, bro. Yeah, no bull. Well, you know, I don't know, man.
I didn't mean to
Tory Lanez is not suitable for most advertisers, man. Get out of here.
Right. They love that trash TV stuff. You feel me?
You know what I'm saying? Tory Lanez is not suitable for most advertisers. That's what I'm saying. After what he did, it's just not suitable for most advertisers. You know who else? You know who else? You know who else? That president up there. This dude, man.
Oh.
It's not suitable for most advertisers.
Are y'all like half watching the debate? Are y'all watching the body punches that he taking?
I'm recording it. I'm recording it so I started watching it and I'm recording it so when we're done with here I can go back and finish watching it. All I know is when I started watching that joint was comical. It was comical what I was watching. Because they couldn't even get through conversations without throwing these jabs and barbs at each other. Both of them. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, did you see the Manuel Marquez fight with Manny Pacquiao, where Pacquiao was just blistering that dude to the body, just blistering him to the body. Like he was like, "I'll take your headshots, but I'm gonna blister you to the body." That's what Joe Biden is doing to Trump right now. When I walked out the room, man, Trump was taking them body shots, man. Oh my God!
I can't wait. I can't wait to get back. Yo, Mike Morgan said it's funny. Yes, I was dying when I was watching. I was dying. It was entertainment. I actually felt like maybe I should stream it. You know what I'm saying? and sit in the background and us have conversation about it because it was what I was watching was hilarious. And I might do it for some of the other ones coming up. I don't know what kind of. I don't want to get a strike or anything like that though. You know what I'm saying? But what I was watching, it was funny. It was hilarious. You know what I mean? And I'm like, how are they actually going to get to some issues where we can sit down and think about what they're saying and what they're talking about? You know what I mean? Because they keep, they cut. It sound like when you watch NBK and we throwing jabs and cutting each other off and doing all of that. That's exactly what it sounded like up there. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, well,
somebody said something about Porzingis. Somebody said something about Porzingis and whose walk went crazy.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Exactly.
Well,
so,
first of all, Trump himself is comedy. Like let's not forget this man's background, okay, in reality TV and all his entertainment cameos and ever. And the Kofefe and the Kung Flu. Like this man is literally a joke.
Right.
Right? But let me tell you right now.
See, like saying I don't mean to cut you off, but saying Kung Flu, like that's funny for middle school kids, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, because if I was a middle school kid and someone said, "Oh, you got the Kung Flu," I probably would laugh at that joke.
Yeah.
Right.
But not the president of the United States.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Not the
now it's a horror movie.
Yeah, not the president of the United States. But
not
if you're a middle school kid,
72-year-old man. A 72-year-old man.
Exactly.
The packaging and delivery is very important because now it's like, oh crap, we're in trouble, right? But let me tell you right now, it doesn't matter how bad he looks during these debates. His base is going to stand solid.
Bro, that is what is the scary part. That's what's the scary part. It doesn't matter
what really happens anymore. Everyone's going to say, oh man,
yeah,
he did this, and that. Oh, he did this for the black community. I'm like, what?
Yo.
How you going to tell a black man what he did for the black community?
Yeah. I mean, this is the scary part for me though is that there is a lot of support out there. And when you look at what's happening, he doesn't care about coronavirus, COVID-19. He's having rallies. And people are showing up in droves for his rallies. If you watch it on TV, they're showing up, no mask, side by side, shoulder to shoulder, not moving, just standing there, coughing up COVID on each other. You know what I'm saying? But they're coming out. They are coming out.
Right.
Where Biden, he's doing his, from, he have a round table and maybe a drive up round table. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which I understand why he's doing it, to protect people. But it looks like and feels like he doesn't have a lot of momentum.
Right.
You know what I mean? And look, Trump's people are coming out. They're coming out. I was in Virginia at a resort this weekend, and I can't tell you the number of Confederate flags I saw.
Right.
Just people wearing them.
Right.
Masks with Confederate flags on it, hats with Confederate flags on it.
I went to high school with these kids too.
You know what I mean? I mean, we were in the mountains in Virginia. We were an hour from Charlottesville. All right. We went to a restaurant,
you
pizza.
Trump country.
Yeah,
That's Trump country.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? We went to a restaurant, pizza restaurant, and as we walked in, I seen three. They were sitting next to the window, and three of them looked at us. Right, and I said to my family, I was like, "Oh snap." They're looking at us. I mean, they looked at us like you see in the movies, right? Yeah. You're watching the movies. As a matter of fact, in Lovecraft Country, they did it when they went to this little town, right? Everybody looked at them riding in through the town. That's what it was like. We walked in, and they just all looked at us like, and I'm looking like, yo, they act like they never seen black people before, right? So we sit down, we're talking, we're eating and this and that. And my daughter's like, Dad, they keep looking over here. They keep looking over here. And then when they finally get up the lead, he gets up, whoosh, whoosh, puts on his Confederate flag mask. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy.
It's always a little passive aggressive things like that. Like, I want to slowly make sure that you see this, right?
Right, and he
was
was
up and do nothing.
No. He just put it on and walked out, right? But that he was sitting there like, I cannot wait to get up and put my mask on. He couldn't wait to get up and put his mask on. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? Some of that stuff too, man, is like they believe in the stereotypes and stuff that they see on TV. So when they see somebody defying stereotypes, then they're like, what in the world are we looking at? I thought they were supposed to be sagging pants and playing loud music. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. I thought I was supposed to see,
Yeah, exactly.
Even if I do sag my pants and play loud music, say something. I fucking dare you. Say something, please. Pardon my French. You know what I'm saying?
So, I mean, I'll
blast this DMX.
I get some of that in business meetings, man. Like, so everybody will say their thing, and then I'll get up and I'll start doing my thing, and then afterwards they be like, "Man, you speak really well." And I'm like, speak really well? What is that? What you getting at?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like I was supposed to sound like ODB in the meeting. No, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No disrespect to others. What I'm saying is that some people have like a built-in stereotype of what everybody black is going to be like, or what a black family is going to look like. And then when they see one that's different, they don't necessarily know how to handle that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So, listen, his people are coming out, bro. There's no doubt about it. His people are coming out, and they're coming out to support him. The question is there really going to be enough people to come out and support Biden? Do people feel like Biden is the guy? And so is there really enough support, enough momentum to come out and support Biden? That's the question that I have.
When you see that debate, this dude is. Remember, I referenced the Pacquiao Marquez fight.
Mm-hmm.
This is what, and I don't want to give nothing away. I don't want to give everything away for those that didn't watch it. But I don't know if the support was there previous to this. But when they finally get to see these two dudes face to face, like you remember when Marquez was ruling the division and Pacquiao was moving up in weight, you like, can Pacquiao punch with Marquez? You know what I'm saying? Right. And then now you see them on the same stage. You're like, yo, all this hype all year is legitimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Joe Biden told him to shut up to his face.
I seen it. I was watching it. Yeah. But look, he has to. Biden really has to come out. This has to be. I think this debate is way more important for Biden than it is for Trump. Trump has already proven and shown that he can do and say anything, and it's not going to matter.
And he can win by doing that.
Exactly. That's what I mean. He can still win. He can do and say anything, and he's still gonna win, or can still win, right? So it's way more important for Biden than I think it is for Trump, because Biden he's got to prove that the people that didn't vote for Hillary, that would have voted for President Obama, he's got to pull them out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's got to pull them out. I'm just not sure. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
That's a great point too, man.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to tell you where Trump, he hits what a lot of people feel. They may not want to support Trump, but this is where I think he hits where a lot of even black people feel. When he keeps coming out and saying the Democratic Party does not care about you. When he keeps coming out, when he comes out and he says this, and he says for years, the Democratic Party has been tricking you, has been using you to get elected, but not doing anything for you, and is keeping you on the system. I think for some people, he's really hitting home with that. Right. Not that those people are going to come out and support him, but I think that's making them say, yeah, I don't want to vote for the Democratic Party because, yeah, they keep saying all of this, but we keep getting worse and worse in our communities.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that right there is making people a little nervous about saying, yeah, I want to vote for Biden, right? Making some people, especially black people, say, I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Because the Democratic Party isn't doing anything for me. And there are more black Republicans, and not that there's anything wrong with being a Republican, but normally there's not, normally African Americans have been Democratic, right? Have been Democrats, for the past however many years. Although it hasn't always been that way, but since whenever the switch came over, they've been Democrats. But there's more and more black Republicans, at least publicized, let me say that you see in the media.
Right.
Right. And
high profile Republicans that are like Representative Tim Scott from the state of South Carolina. So he's from down here where I'm at. So if I see him, I'll be trying not to spit on him because it's the stuff that he's saying. Mm-hmm. Some of the stuff is like it drives home core values. Like we want our families to be safe. We want our families to have equal opportunities in education and equal career opportunities as those that are not black, and just want to have the playing field be even. So it says a lot of stuff. But then, in our communities, you see all these votes going against our people. Like housing and things of that sort is not affordable for those that don't make the same wage as people in the other race, especially in other age groups. Like young black men don't make the same amount of money as, say, middle-aged white men. And you would say, well, how is that the case when, why should it be like that? But the opportunities to work should be equal. Like, a 20-year-old black guy and a 50-year-old white guy on the same job, doing the same job, should have the chance to outperform each other and either make the same amount of money or more in an equal and level competition, right? But it's not like that. We and I probably sound like a racist, but statistics back up the fact that black men at a certain age and black women overall at any age don't make the same amount of money as their counterparts doing the same jobs. And it's just not fair. We don't have an equal playing field. And the black Republicans that say, equal playing field and stuff, they have the opportunity to do those things and make the playing field equal. And in my experience here in South Carolina, they have not done so. So, it's one of those deals where I just can't trust the rhetoric, even though they preach these things and, their history says something else. Like the same thing with Trump only paying $750 in federal taxes in 2017. When I paid over $750 a month in federal taxes.
Yeah.
In 2017.
Yeah, it's crazy. And listen, I'm not out here trying to convince anyone, hey, turn Republican. What I'm saying is that there are more and more black Republicans who are
high profile
coming to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That are coming to be, that are stepping out and that are talking. And speaking out and saying things. I don't know if Trump is getting these people out here, finding ways to pull them out, and having them, speak. Right? But they're out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're out there, which is actually a good thing, so that we don't put all of our eggs in one basket. You know what I'm saying? And we make people have to work for us to get our vote. We say, hey, because it's easy. It's easy for a Republican to say, well, no, I'm not going to get the black vote anyway, so why should I do anything to satisfy these people? Because I'm not going to get that vote anyway. So why should I do anything to satisfy them? Right? And then it's easy for the Democrats to say, well, we got the black vote anyway, so why should I do anything to satisfy them? And so we get left out there with nothing. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great way of putting it.
Right. So you get left out there with nothing. So it's important that you don't just put all your eggs in one basket. But if we want this dude out the White House, and he needs to get out the White House, because, this country is about to be, we're not respected. We are no longer respected throughout the world. You know what I'm saying? We're a laughing stock. We're like the New York Knicks of the world, except...
Savvy D, did this dude just say we the New York Knicks? Savvy D, did this dude just say
as far as being a laughing stock, yes, we're like the New York Knicks of the world as far as being a laughing stock.
Because it's true. Because we're supposed to be the best, and we haven't been the best at most things for a long time. Let's keep it a buck.
Exactly. All right? You know what I'm saying?
And not only that, bro, I was in Europe in the summer of 2016. I was in Spain, right? People were asking me, yo, what the hell? That was halfway through 2016. That was in the summer of 2016. They already knew it was a dumpster fire.
Right.
And I had no clue what to tell them. First of all, they didn't like American tourists that much.
They never
was no surprise to me.
Right.
Because I would walk by every once in a while and I would hear some English being spoken, and I'd be like, "Oh, like some people I can understand, like without thinking too hard." Because my Spanish had gotten pretty good at that point. But then it's always these loud and abrasive, and completely unaware of their surroundings people that's just out there like acting a fool, and I'm like, is this how the rest of the world sees us?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like for the longest time, it was founded on a respectable base of power, because at the end of the day, this is an American. Nowadays, it's like, American, huh? What the hell's going on over there?
Exactly.
I saw an article, people saying that they feel bad for the U.S. saying that he's not agreeing to a peaceful transfer of power in the event that he does lose. And I'm like, bro, this place is so ghetto. It is ghetto as hell.
Yo.
We can't do the basic stuff. And not only that, right? But back to the accountability for the candidates. I feel like Black folks just got a bad relationship with politics in general.
True. Very true.
And
Very true.
I feel like the pathway to solving these problems is having some continuity, some follow through of the agenda post election, right?
Right.
Establishing a power base that can remind people of what they were promising and hold them to account to these promises. But it's like a chicken and egg scenario where this person doesn't do what they say they're going to deliver on for us, and we can't hold them accountable by threatening them with our vote because we have no Black alternative in the Republican Party, and we also don't have a base of dedicated voters who are going out to vote consistently. All right. And so if we can't leverage that, then how do we even begin to hold these things accountable to certain people? Elizabeth Warren came out and she had a very salient agenda for what she was going to do for Black folks. Misogyny and all these other reasons came in, and she didn't wind up being the candidate. I remember in the 2016 election, I was like, man, the one time Mitt Romney don't show up, the one time Mitt Romney does not show up is when you get in this complete fool coming into the party, right? Wasn't even a Republican for the longest time, right? And I'm like, bro, it was literally the perfect storm for him to win. And I'm looking at Biden not as a solution to my problems, but as a way to stop the bleeding of America. Because when you're treating an injured person, you treat the most serious wound first.
Okay.
First, let's stop the bleeding. Right. And then let's pay attention to what's going on down the ballot. Because I'll tell you what I saw in the local primaries for the state of Florida. I saw a lot of Blackness coming out victorious. I saw a lot of people who managed to get the word out about the local elections, which affect our day-to-day lives.
That is the ticket. That's the ticket.
So much more.
That is the ticket.
I guarantee you there will be a very salient change if we get these circuit court judges, the state Supreme Court judges, if we start to flip some of these seats and really show the power of the Black vote. Oh yeah. It's coming.
That's the ticket.
I don't know if we can trust Florida though, man.
And we need to be grooming candidates for that.
Well,
I live here, so
but the local elections, you know what I'm saying? That's the ticket right there. Those local elections.
Very important. Because Florida's gonna be the best state forever, of course.
Yeah.
Florida will turn the country on its ear with stuff. I mean, and I have examples of what it did for hip hop. Like, people think New York MCs saved hip hop, but it was actually Luther Campbell that saved hip hop in court. And I know that has nothing to do with politics. It's just an example of how powerful some of the people in Florida are. And the election between George Bush and Al Gore flipped on its ear through the voter recount in the state of Florida in the George Bush Al Gore election of 2000. So it's like, one of them things, the Trayvon Martin thing. It's just a bunch of stuff that happens in Florida, generally, affects the nation in a bunch of different ways. And they're not afraid to be in the forefront to do it, because they proposed a bill to give the right to vote to convicted felons. I think that movement also started in Florida, in the state of Florida.
Yes,
and it's battled by politicians, because if you give the right to vote to felons, then that will probably swing all of the elections nationwide back. Basically, you'll give the rabbit the gun, because the rabbit had been hunted for so long. Now what happens when the rabbit get the gun and chase the hunter? You can't
have the slaves running the plantation. As soon as that went through, Freezy, when we got the results of the governor's race and Ron DeSantis won, guys, a joke. Right. Anything Donald do, Ronald do. But anyway,
Right.
As soon as we got those results, I was like, oh, it's in trouble. You know why? Because for the longest time, we've been trying to get voting rights restoration passed down here, and we've been
Right.
trying to get legal marijuana sales down here, whether medicinal or recreational or otherwise. We got it, but it's very restricted.
Of course.
A lot of things are very restricted, and now you got this provision in the law where, okay, you can have your voting rights back, but first you have to pay back all of your debts in court fees and everything like that accrued over time. Pay that back first, and then you go through the process of restoring your rights, right? So you got organizations rallying.
So basically, it'll never happen. Is basically what you're saying.
No. They add loopholes, but let me tell you a recent development that happened. Michael Bloomberg tried to go in and pay those fees for a lot of people, and they were trying to block it.
Of course.
Saying no, you can't do that. So you see, it's clearly not about getting the funds paid back. It's about preventing the vote.
Mm-hmm.
Like
voter suppression. That was my point. Yeah.
It's all about suppression.
Yeah, man. Anyway, Donald Trump is not suitable for most advertisers, man. Word up. It's not suitable for the entire political system is not suitable for most advertisers.
Right.
I mean,
it's not suitable for most advertisers.
By the way, so who are the advertisers that this is not suitable for? Did they care to mention, or is it a generalized statement?
You talk about on the videos?
Yeah.
Any advertisers? I'm just using it as a way to, I'm just using it as a way to crash these donkeys, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump is not suitable. It's not suitable for most advertisers, and we're gonna find out if Biden is though.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna find out if Biden is. We're gonna find out what's going on for real.
Church.
Right.
And we're gonna find out what's going on for real. We're gonna get into having some more of these discussions. As a matter of fact, next Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, at 9 o'clock, we're gonna break down Donald Trump's platinum plan for Black America. His $500 billion platinum plan for Black America. We're gonna break it down. Talk about it.
I wonder how the conversation went to name that plan. Oh, the Negroes like platinum.
We like platinum.
The Negroes love platinum. All the rappers talk about platinum. Let's call it the platinum plan.
I take some, boss. I take the platinum, boss.
We're gonna talk about that platinum plan, Donald Trump's platinum plan. I was looking at it a couple days ago, looking at it, seeing what he had to say in there. We're gonna talk about it though. We're gonna break it down and talk about it. We're gonna break it down and talk about it. But I'm gonna tell you the one thing though that really does, people get on Candace Owens a lot, right? But I'm gonna tell you the one thing that it strikes home for me. It really strikes home for me when she talks about the Democratic Party, and I spoke on it earlier. The Democratic Party using these social systems to keep people mentally oppressed.
That's
basically,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because just to keep people mentally oppressed, to keep us as sheep, to keep us blind, to keep the wool over our eyes. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so there is. As a matter of fact, Nas. Obviously we got to have the honorary mention of Nas, the obligatory mention of Nas in the episode. Okay.
Of course, but my heart. As soon as I heard his name, my heart pitter-pattered by itself.
Yeah, but I don't remember what song it is, but he talks about how he's talking about whoever donating money, giving back, and he says there's a part of that. I don't remember the verse. Damn. He says there's a part of that hurts Black people today. Talking about the donation of money and the giving back. And that's what he's talking about. He's talking about those social systems. He didn't get in depth, and that's cool, but he's talking about those social systems that we notoriously take part in,
It kind of enables the bullshit.
And enables us to, just keep having kids and stay on the system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Have 10 kids so you can get food stamps and stay on the system. Oh, I'm about to not be on the system. Let's have another kid so I can stay on the system. You know what I'm saying?
It perpetuates that generational inept.
And check this out, right?
Generational ineptness, like it's a cycle. Like some people, like there's generations of families that don't know what being in the workforce even feels like, because the great grandma was on it, and the grandma was on it, the mama is on it, and now the girl is 16. She old enough to get a job. She like, well, do I get a job or have a baby?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? So definitely, there's part of that Democratic Party that, it's, keeps these social systems set up, that keeps us relying on the system. And as long as we're relying on the system, we're just sheep.
I personally,
because we don't have that economic empowerment and economic freedom to advance. You know what I mean?
I haven't seen from my own eyes this well documented, foretold welfare queen per se. I've seen forms of it, but I haven't seen it to that extent. But
I'll be right back, y'all.
Tell you what I have seen, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have seen that, especially during this past 9 months or so, or like, we're only 9 months into the year. All right, so this past 7 months or so, right? What I have seen is a lot of these people who are making these GoFundMes and the donations to all of these families affected by the police gun violence and all of these causes that spring up, that people should be able to rely on the system to provide for, like things that the system actually should be providing, that are not being provided because they're like, oh well, they can just get a GoFundMe and crowdfund it off of the new internet pity economy that we have in place. And I'm like, the fact that the onus is falling upon the American people to fund the rights of their own countrymen to just be able to get basic things done in defense of themselves is actually enabling the system to continue to oppress us in the first place. But in the moment, how could we not help our fellow countrymen?
No, I hear you.
You feel me?
I get it.
It's like a vicious cycle.
I get it.
It's like an endless cycle.
I think we got to find ways to help and educate at the same time. So we're not just, hey, I'm just going to give you this EBT card so you can go,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? But I'm actually going to educate you and teach you, how to go get it yourself. You know what I'm saying? And empower yourself. That's what it really has to be about. You know what I mean? It has to be, about that self-empowerment. Evergreen says, remember I spoke on Dr. Claude Anderson. Yeah, you guys can go back and check. I don't remember what episode it is, but you guys can go look it back. Evergreen really broke it down.
A fantastic author. Fantastic author.
You know
what I mean?
But, yeah, man. So, yeah, pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Please make sure that you're paying attention to this election. Pay attention to the election. And next week, we're going to break down that platinum plan. The platinum plan. Donald Trump's platinum plan. We're going to break it down. Yeah. So that should be a good, fun show. It should be a fun show. We're gonna break it down. Because we all know that Donald Trump made Juneteenth famous. Nobody would have known about Juneteenth if it wasn't for Donald Trump.
Right.
Nobody would have known about it if it wasn't for Donald Trump. So now he's got the platinum plan, and we know, it's probably it's the greatest plan ever. Isn't that his words? Ain't that his words, right? This is no one's ever made a plan like this.
Right. How many people did you hear going, oh, Barack Obama didn't send me a check for $2,000?
Right.
How many times did you hear that?
He's going to use that. He's going to use that. You already know that's going to be said. Barack Obama didn't send you any money.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I am going to say, looking at, I'm just going to ask the question.
What's up, Tone?
Just going to ask the question.
Tony Crow in the building.
In the building. What's up, bro? But I am gonna ask the question though, because I don't care who the representative is, the politician, the candidate is. You don't see a written plan for Black America from a Black candidate, representative. You don't see one. Right? Now, listen, we all know Donald Trump is a farce. Right? And of course, he got the plan publicized just before he went to Atlanta.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean?
He wanted to have a nice time.
The day before he goes to Atlanta, blah, here comes this $500 billion plan for Black America.
Probably tried to link up with T.I. and everything.
He probably did. He probably called T.I. and T.I. was like, I ain't doing no damn video, no damn commercial.
Right.
I ain't doing no damn commercial.
T.I. said, I'm not Kanye West.
Last time with that.
What you say, Tony?
I said they got him last time with the commercial.
You know what I'm saying?
My man still can't live that down. He's still regretting it.
Yeah. But so it's important that we really pay attention to everything, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll do whatever we can. I don't profess to be any super duper politician. I'm not Van Jones. Right. You know what I mean? I'm not any of them guys up there. But we'll talk about the way real people talk about it. Right. And that's that.
Responsible journalism.
So that's it. We're gonna talk about it.
Excuse my lateness. I was having a real rough day. Had some issues with my card, and today was bill day.
Wow.
It always lines up.
You know what I'm saying?
It always lines up.
Yeah, man.
I wait till the morning now. So
yeah.
So did you have to fire to help, Tony? Did you have to fire to help? They didn't want to have your car clean like they were supposed to?
I wish I had some help, man. I had some help.
Yeah, man.
But
I heard somebody say Nas, and then I popped up.
There it goes. No doubt. Oh man. Somebody else not suitable for.
And you know what line?
Advertisers, man.
And you know what Nas line off that album I thought about last week? And what the fuck is up with Gayle King?
Yeah. Yeah. What the F is up with Gayle King? That's what he said. But somebody else, man. NBA YoungBoy arrested.
Oh man.
Arrested, ladies and gentlemen.
With 16 other people, right?
What was he arrested for?
They seized guns, $79,000 in cash. Here, I'll read the article for you. 1:19 p.m. TMZ obtained pictures of the 14 guns and $79,000 in cash the cops seized during the course of the investigation. Hold up. Let me get to the beginning. My bad. Let me get to the beginning. If I can find the beginning. I gotta find the beginning. I'm reading it from TMZ right now, so I'm looking for the beginning. Originally published 7:59 a.m. I can't find the beginning of it, but apparently he was arrested. NBA YoungBoy was sitting in a jail cell this week after getting arrested for drugs in his Louisiana hometown. The rapper was booked on Monday night by the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office on 3 separate drug charges. Possession of Schedule 1 drugs, manufacturing and distributing a Schedule 2 drug, and manufacturing and distributing Schedule 4 drugs.
Manufacturing.
Okay. It's unclear exactly what specific drugs he allegedly had, but if any or all of the charges stick, NBA YoungBoy could be facing several years in prison. It's unclear what led to his arrest, but a video posted on social media claiming to have captured the run-in with cops indicates it could have been a raid of some sort. as YoungBoy was reportedly one of several people swept up and taken away in cuffs. YoungBoy was released from jail last year after getting caught in the Miami shooting while he was on probation for another case. All right, that was 7:59 this morning. Then at 11:38, said NBA's attorney, NBA YoungBoy's attorney, Jamie Manasseh, tells TMZ his client is innocent of the charges he was arrested for Monday night, insisting YoungBoy had no controlled dangerous substances on him. He claims cops arrived on the scene on a firearms tip and went on to conduct searches and detainments illegally, even though he admits cops found several guns on a bunch of the guys who were ultimately picked up. Still, he maintains YoungBoy was unarmed, which no one is refuting, and NBA YoungBoy wasn't booked on any gun charges. Manasseh says YoungBoy looks forward to defending himself in court. And then at 1:19 today, TMZ obtained pictures of the 14 guns and $79,000 in cash that the cops seized during the course of the investigation. Baton Rouge. Now, how the hell did they obtain these pictures? I'm looking at the pictures, and they're in the cops' possession, I guess.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's because the cops called them before they went there.
Yeah, I guess so. You know what I'm saying? They received information from anonymous concerned citizens. Says Baton Rouge Police says its Street Crimes Division, along with the FBI, received information from anonymous concerned citizens of individuals brandishing guns in an abandoned lot on Monday around 4:30 p.m. Cops say upon arrival, multiple individuals fled on foot and others were detained for questioning. Cops say they arrested 16 individuals, including the rapper. They say one weapon was stolen and 2 guns were equipped with illegal stocks. Cops gave the anonymous tipster a shout out for calling in the tip, saying, "We have consistently said that we can't do this alone. We need help from the community to solve crimes. When you see something, say something. This is another example of our citizens getting involved and calling us when they witness suspicious activity. Thank you for your help, Baton Rouge. Keep talking. We'll never stop listening."
I thought they named the snitch. I was about to be like, Baton Rouge,
Bad move.
fucked up.
Bad move.
Bad move. Yo, tell me something. What is a street crime? Is it different than a hotel crime or a condo crime? That's a rhetorical question. I just wanted to put that out there.
Savvy D, we live down south. So
right.
You know what I'm saying? So you're ready.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I feel you. They said they got that man for manufacturing.
So
let me tell you something.
So,
but they picked him up and he wasn't manufacturing.
Yeah, but this is the thing. When you talk about manufacturing, yeah, like you said, Tony, you're talking about stuff like meth.
Yeah.
Right. Drugs that are artificially made.
Right. Yeah. Crack is one of those drugs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But
they might even make it lean. You know, codeine is a Schedule 1. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So they might have been having
there
lean.
You go. And now I'm not going to try this man in the court of public opinion. I'm gonna tell you right now. I was talking about YoungBoy this last week and how much YouTube money he gets. If I'm getting that much money, you ain't gonna catch me at no trap house, bro. I'm getting all of my paraphernalia delivered. Leave that. If I'm on it, gotta move correctly first and foremost. Okay. Second of all, they don't have to find him holding anything. They're still going to rope him up. You know why? Because he's the most prominent name there.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Boosie is gone, now that Boosie is in Atlanta, that's his home.
Listen, Boosie is somewhere chilling, living a nice legal life.
I mean, but here's the thing. Here's the thing.
His IG back.
Here's the thing with YoungBoy. If he gets off, right, it does nothing but boost his career when it comes to
for sure.
You know what I mean? Because now it's like, he really living a life, blase, bloom. You know what I'm saying? Until something really goes down and he either loses his life or really gets locked up.
I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, there was a generation where it was cool to be the dealer. Then there's a generation where it's cool to be the user. When's the generation where it's cool to just ditch that stuff and find clarity?
Hey, I agree. That's a good question. And the other thing I was going to mention too, that's a great question, Savity. I'm not glossing it over. That's something to think about for sure. But the other thing too is, man, would he pay in legal costs for him and his team is going to be crazy. It seems like to me that they not going to get anything. But would he pay for him and them other 15 people in terms of legal fees is going, it's going to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? So even if he get off, he's still lost. I mean, I know in terms of career longevity, it might help in the long run. But man, paying like $100,000 for like 16 people, that's gonna be crazy.
I mean, look.
But I'll tell you this much.
Yo, that man be killing it on YouTube. Why his shit not, videos not suitable for most advertisers?
Hey, listen.
You know what I'm saying? What's up? His joint be killing it on YouTube, man.
And on top of that, I'll tell you this: as a famous rapper, getting rap money, I'm swagging out the lawyer regardless. Because something's gonna try to get you. Something.
Yeah.
And nobody gets out unscathed.
He's in a tough position where, I mean, he kind of has to pay for their lawyers.
Yep.
And if he doesn't, or even if he does, if he gets off, it's gonna be and if he's the only one that gets off, it's gonna be allegations and speculation.
Yeah. Bro,
this is the era of telling. So
no doubt. Exactly. That's what Nas said. 2020, everybody getting exposed. Who really the bros? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I mean, it's a precarious perch.
Yeah,
it's a very precarious.
Tony said that just now.
What I missed in the first half?
We're just talking about the debates and not being suitable for YouTube. I'm too controversial.
That the videos keep getting not suitable for most advertisers. That's what they keep doing.
These videos?
Huh? Yeah, man.
These videos?
Yeah, they about to smack this one up.
We talk
about Trump. We talking about YouTube. They about to smack this one up. It's all good though.
You know what I'm saying? We do it for the culture.
It's all good. Look, Marquise said every time that we mention Nas, we need a Nas alert. So that's a good idea. I'm gonna get a Nas alert. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get like a DJ Premier cut that says nah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Nasty Nas.
That's what I'm doing. Yo, look, these dudes out here, man, these young dudes, I don't condone drug dealing at all, man. But if you're gonna do it, they gotta get smart.
Right, bro.
Times have changed. Look at Tariq from from Power.
Tariq don't even touch the product.
He don't even touch the product.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
No, he said no. Oh, he didn't hear it. He didn't see it. I guess we got to be quiet.
For sure. We'll skip that.
I guess we got to be quiet. Yeah, we'll skip that one. Are
you watching Lovecraft Country, Tony?
Say that again?
Are you watching Lovecraft Country?
Nah, I don't know what that is.
Oh man, you missing it, bro. You missing it. Yo, that's a dope show.
That's some fire right there.
It's wild. It is wild, but it's dope.
What network?
It's on
like
HBO.
Okay.
It's like a sci-fi horror with black people in it.
Yeah, it's on HBO. But for all of you guys that's in the chat, that got your Fire Sticks and all of that, you can find it on your Fire Stick too.
All right, yeah, that's what I was just saying. Right.
You know what I'm saying? But no. Yo, Lovecraft Country is dope. It's about it's crazy. It's real crazy. It's about this guy that comes back from the war. What is it, like 1955 or something like that?
Yeah, it was like the Korean War. And he comes back from the war, and his father wrote him. His father is what's his name from Michael K. Williams. He's
Michael
Omar.
Omar, right? Yeah.
From the Wire.
Right.
I seen the previews.
Yeah, he comes back from the war, and his father had written him a letter to say, you know, I need you to come help me out, come get me or whatever, because somebody had like locked, you know, like kidnapped him or something like that. He comes back and he talks with his uncle, you know, so they set out to go try to get his father. His uncle, you guys know what the Green Book is, right? You guys seen the movie The Green Book?
Nah, I made it a point not to watch it because of how they fictionalize the existence of that white, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what the Green Book is.
Right. The travel guide for safe travels for Black people, let you know where it's good to go.
Right. So his uncle develops one of those guides, So they go on trips in the South. I guess it don't even have to just be the South, but they go on trips, traveling around the country to figure out, you know, what kind of restaurants, hotels, movie theaters, those type of things are safe for African Americans to visit when they're traveling. You know, stay at, eat at, those type of things, right? And I forgot what state they're in, but they go on a trip. Maybe they're in Kentucky. I think they're in Kentucky. I think they go to Kentucky, right? They're from Chicago, so I think they go to Kentucky, and they stop at this restaurant while they're in Kentucky. And you know, when they go into the restaurant, like the waiter, there's one dude working in there, and someone at the bar. The dude at the bar gets up and leaves, and the dude the waiter dude brings a menu, puts it down. Then he goes in the back and he calls somebody, and he's like, "Yo, you know, like they hear there's three of them, blah blah blah," right? And the girl that's with him, what's her name? The Jussie Smollett's sister.
Yeah, Journey
Smollett. Yeah. She's with him. She goes to the bathroom and she hears him talking on the phone. She runs out. She's like, "We gotta get the fuck out of here," right? Right. And they jump in the car. They start boating, and then here comes, you know, a bunch of white dudes in the truck with the cops behind them. You know, and they're shooting at them, trying to make them get out of town. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, with those cars back in 1955, you had to be serious with the driving because them cars are made out of steel and, you know, they heavy as Mack trucks. You know what I'm saying? You had to, and no power steering. So you had to be serious with the driving back then. Yep. You know what I mean? So boom, they get out of town. As they get out of town, well, they stay at her brother's house, you know, getting in some argument about her not being at her mother's funeral, blah, blah, blah. The next day they leave. When they leave, a sheriff from that county pulls them over, right? And, you know, they're like, "Hey, we just stopped to go to the bathroom on the side of the road. We're getting out of town." And he's like, "This is a sundown town. You know what that means, right?" He's like, "This is a sundown town, so you better get out of town." He's like, if it was already dark, I would have already hung you for pissing in the woods.
Right.
So he's like, all right, well, we're gonna get out of town. He said, we're gonna go south. They said, well, the sheriff was like, that's not gonna help you. He said, well, we'll go north. He said, well, you better hurry up because, you know, you got like 7 minutes before the sun goes down. So we asked him, can he make a U-turn? He said, well, normally I wouldn't let you do a U-turn. He said, but if you ask me politely, I'll let you make a U-turn. Right? So he says, please. The sheriff says no. He said, I want you to say, can this smart nigga make a U-turn? Or whatever he said, you know, paraphrasing. Yeah. Right. So the dude says it so they can get out of town. Makes a U-turn. He's on his way out of town. Sheriff is behind them. And they're racing time to try to get to the county line. You know what I'm saying? They get to the county line, finally get to the county line. The sheriff is hitting them in the back of the car, all this stuff. It finally gets to the county line, and they're gone. They think they're free, right? But then they recognize that they're in another county, there's some other cops out there, some other sheriffs out there, and they're not trying to let them get past. So they, boom, now they're getting chased by those guys, and they're moving, boom, 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 boom. And
they were trying not to speed either.
Right, and they're trying not to speed. And then, so they're getting chased, and this silver, what was it, Savvy?
Oh yeah, it was like
I forgot what kind of car it was, but the silver
this
car comes out
fly-ass
of
car.
nowhere and goes in front of the guys that were chasing them, and they get blown up by the car. The car is not harmed. Like they get blown up by the car, so they keep going. I probably got some of these things mixed up, but there's some more sheriffs that they run into, and those sheriffs are trying messing with them. They go out into the woods. They're gonna shoot them out in the woods, and all of a sudden these monsters come out of nowhere. And this is where like you get bugged out. You're like, what the hell just happened? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you understand that. All right, you seen they hit the silver car, and this white lady got out after they hit the silver car, and you're like, what the hell just happened?
Right, exactly.
Right?
There's no damage on the car, but like how?
Yeah. So you already know there's something, but then all of a sudden these monsters just come out of nowhere, and they start biting people's heads off, and they're chasing them, right? And then they go into this, they run into this cabin that's in the woods, and the monsters, chase them to the cabin. One of the sheriffs got bit by the monster, right? So now he's in there. The girl goes out to get the car because they figured out that the monsters, they don't like the light, right? So they'll run away with the light. So they're in the cabin. The girl goes out to get the car. The one dude got bit, so he's turning into one of these monsters, right? So they fight with with one of the other cops that's in there to shoot the dude that's turning into the monster. Finally, the girl gets back with the car, and the light does work, but it's too many of them for the light to work with all of them, and a whole bunch of them are crowding around them, and the next thing you know, this like dog whistle goes off, right? This large sound dog whistle goes off, and they all go away, and they're like, now what the hell happened? You know what I'm saying? So after that, apparently, I guess they started walking. I don't know. All we know, the next scene, they're walking up to this huge castle. It's daylight now. They're walking up to this huge castle. And they walk up to the castle, knock on the door, and this white dude comes out, opens the door and was like, we've been waiting for you. That's the end of the first episode. You know what I'm saying?
Episode?
That's all one episode, bro. That's one episode. It's wild. That's one episode. Then the second episode, they're in the castle, right? And inside the castle, so I guess the Atticus is the name. He's like the main character, the dude that came back from the war. So in the castle is this white guy. I forgot his name now. Braithwaite, something like that.
Oh yeah, something. Oh, Titus Braithwaite.
Yeah. And Atticus.
So it's his name. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, Atticus is a descendant of him. Right now Atticus is dark. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Atticus is dark, but he's the descendant of this blonde-haired, blue-eyed white dude. Right? And
yo, hold up. What are y'all what is the name of this show that y'all are talking about?
This is Lovecraft Country.
Yeah.
It's good. You gotta watch it. Jordan Peele is an executive producer.
Okay, I figured it sounds like the way you explain this show, it sounds like what's that movie? Us? What was it called that he put out?
Yeah, Us.
Us. Yeah, it sounds like
it's executive
like that.
It's executive produced by him and J.J. Abrams. So you got J.J. doing the sci-fi, and then you got Jordan Peele doing like the real life social horror.
Yeah, and then, it is crazy. Mike Morgan said it sounds crazy. It is crazy because then they get in this castle, and the white dude he needs Atticus there because he believes that Atticus is the key to him going to the Garden of Eden. Okay, so he believes that Atticus, because they specialize in spells and shit. He believes that Atticus, can get him to the Garden of Eden. So that's why they got him there, right? So Atticus is there, Journey is there, or her name isn't Journey, is Letitia, something like that. And then his Letitia. Uncle is there, right? And when they get there, they're all in these rooms, and his uncle owns a bookstore, so he has all these books, his favorite books, all lined up all across the wall. Letitia, she has all these clothes that fit her there, right? So they so they're in the house. They wake up the next morning, they finally got everything that they like. They go out, they eat breakfast. They say they want to go out to the town. They go out to the town and they notice, they recognize that there's something in the town they're like, I think my father is here. He's like, Atticus, like, I think my father is here, right? The uncle and the girl that's with him, they don't remember anything that happened the night before. He's like, how the hell do you not remember us getting chased by monsters? Right? Yeah. They don't remember anything. Right? They don't remember anything. They start getting chased by monsters again. And I know I'm skipping over some parts because I can't remember all the little details. But they get chased by monsters again when they go into the town, and then they hear that whistle again. And this white lady, the same white lady that was in the silver car, she's there on a horse or something, right? And she brings them back to the castle. When they go into the castle, they go through whatever. They see the white dude, the blonde haired white dude, like getting his liver getting cut out. I guess that's part of the ceremony. They get put in these rooms and they can't get out, and they start having these fantasies when they're in the room, right? And it's all these white men in there watching them in the room going through these fantasies. Like Journey, she kind of is in love with Tick, so her fantasy is her having sex with Tick. His uncle actually was in love with his mother, right? His brothers, Tick's uncle was in love with Tick's father's wife, right? But
so basically his sister-in-law.
Yeah, his sister-in-law, right? So he's having a fantasy about her. Tick is having a fantasy about the Korean woman that he fell in love with, but something happened when they fell in love because she's actually a monster as well. And so, he was actually fighting her and going through a battle with her in his fantasy, right? Mm-hmm. So after the fantasies are over, they come out and they say to him, there's this dinner. Only the men are allowed at the dinner. Women can't come to the dinner. So they go in there, and Tick and his uncle are sitting at, George, his name is, are sitting at a table by themselves. There's a bunch of white men in there, and Tick is in there because he is a descendant of whoever, right? Mr. Braithwaite, the older Braithwaite, whoever. He's a descendant.
He's of the original bloodline.
Yeah. The original bloodline, right? So he is a descendant, and he's in there, and they're eating that white man's liver. Okay. Yeah, I know it's crazy. They're eating
as
his
if
liver.
The flesh of Jesus.
Right.
As if it's the flesh of Jesus.
How many episodes are there?
There's 7.
So far, there's 7.
This is just episode 2. I'm not gonna go through all of them. I'm gonna let you guys go watch it, and we can talk about it again next week.
Watching this and chronicling together.
Yeah, man. Because it's good. It's good.
Yeah, it's fire.
And so George stands up and says, "Well, I read all the bylaws, and I know that the latest descendant, or however you say it, the living descendant, the last living descendant has all the power in this organization here." Exactly. Right? Because they have an organization. I forgot the name of the organization. It has all the power in this organization. All right. So that last living descendant is Tick. So Tick tells him, "I want all of you out. I want all of you to get out." And he has a conversation and he finds out what his purpose there is. And he has to agree to the purpose. At first, he doesn't agree. They go, they get out and they go to try to find his father. They find out where his father is, but his father's not there. His father already escaped. Right? So they catch up to his father escaped, and they're trying to get out of town. When they try to get out of town, those people figure it out. Like they're racing out of town, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they just smash into. You can't even see it, but there's a force field up. They smash into the force field, and it stops them. Right? So these the girl and whoever else they come, they end up shooting Letitia. I think that's her name, Letitia. They shoot George, the uncle,
and George, the uncle, right?
Right, and they bring him back, and then the guy that wants to get back to the Garden of Eden, he's like, "As long as you agree to doing what I want you to do, I'll save their lives." He saves Letitia's life, and he says, "Once this is complete, I'll save George's life." So they go through the process, and lightning bolts are hitting Tick and all this kind of stuff, right? And all this crazy stuff is going on, and finally Tick screams real loud, like, "Oh, this is happening!" But then the white dude, instead of going to the Garden of Eden, he turns to stone and crumbles. Right? He turns to stone and crumbles, and then the house, starts to the castle starts to crumble, crash in, fall in, and he runs out. But because that white man turned to stone, his uncle wasn't saved. His uncle ended up, his uncle died. You know what I'm saying? But they got out of there and they go back to Chicago. But they don't know at that point. They don't know that there's any more to what has to happen. So they get to Chicago. So now this is episode 3. They go to Chicago, and Letitia, she buys this house in the north side of Chicago, right? That was owned. So it's like every episode, it's crazy because each episode is almost like its own little journey.
Right.
Its own little story journey within itself, but it still relates to the entire thing.
Exactly.
How long are the episodes? How long are the
episodes? Are about an hour.
About an hour, 50 minutes, 40 something minutes. It's good.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. Does it have that Game of Thrones feel to it? Like every episode is like a mini movie, like that's attached to like the larger picture.
Game of Thrones felt like it was more chronological, where this is like you're getting an anthology almost of a bunch of different stories, but it's happening to this group of people who all tie in together.
Exactly.
And it's a part of this greater mysticism that centers around Atticus and his family.
Right.
And it starts to slowly drag in the people around them.
Right.
And it gets harder and harder to keep things a secret, and it's fire, bro.
It's a great show. It's really great, and they touch on like they
so
go
through
and they touch on a lot of themes. They touch on racism. They talk, they touch on gender. Right. Themes of gender. They like this episode 7 was really about woman empowerment.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So they get into a lot of issues. There's a lot of symbolism within the show itself. Of course, you have the show and what's happening in the show, but then there's a lot of symbolism within the show that spars a lot of conversations. You know what I'm saying?
It's like they use the show as a vehicle to like deliver a bunch of historical facts about rights and the Black struggle, and it's pretty crazy. Like I had read about sundown towns as like a brief footnote in the greater context of whatever civil rights material I was reading. But I didn't know the extent to which they were a thing and how it exactly worked. And that was actually how I learned about it.
Yeah.
And it was nuts.
Yeah, the show is a great show, right? So just to be brief, because we could have done a podcast like this on each show and had conversation about it. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
We really could have.
Sure.
Each episode,
each episode, man, because
it's loaded.
Because if you look at the first episode, right, the first, second, and third episode, it really has a lot to do with race.
Right.
Obviously, it has a lot to do with race. The third episode, the girl Journey, she buys this house, right, and in the house, a doctor, a scientist, he used to kidnap Black people and experiment on them in the basement.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so the ghosts of those Black people would chase everybody out of the house. Right. And then, of course, she was living in the north side of Chicago that at the time was all white. So all the white people that was trying to get her out, they parked their cars out in front of the house and taped a brick to the horn and just left their cars out there with the horn beeping day and night. You know what I'm saying? And so she had to get like someone to come in and do like a seance to try to help the Black people that were killed in the house rise up. You know what I mean? And at first they were trying to get them out, but then they kind of banded together because the scientist, his ghost was in the house as well. They got the scientist out of the house. And then once that happened, it kind of put the ghosts to rest. But when they were doing the seance, a couple of white people from the neighborhood tried to go into the house to vandalize it. They ended up getting killed by the ghosts that were in the house. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the episode is crazy. And then episode 4, they find out that there's some, well, in episode 3, the white woman comes back and she survived. And she tells them that there are some pages to some manual, to whatever book of names or something like that, that is a key to something, right? For them to unlock something. And it was in that house. She somehow made it so that Letitia would get money to buy the house, right? Letitia told her sister that their mother left her the money. And I guess that's the way the white lady set it up. Her sister Ruby was mad. So her sister Ruby moved out of the house feeling like she was done dirty. All right.
And then that sets Ruby off on a whole separate journey.
A whole separate journey.
And she gets her own episode. Yes. And it's fire.
Her episode is crazy. Her episode is crazy. Right. And so then in the next episode 4, Atticus and Journey and his father, they go trying to find how to unlock and get the key to get these pages before she does. Right? So they find out that there's a museum in Boston where it's locked up there. So the father knows somebody in Boston, knows a dude in Boston. They go to Boston. George, his uncle, his wife comes along, right, with the daughter. They all ride to Boston. Some other dude that goes along, they go to Boston too. He puts it in Atticus's ear that maybe his father is gay. Right? So we'll just leave that there. All right. we'll just leave that there for now. We'll leave that there for now. All right.
A lot of stuff unfolds.
Yeah. And so they go to Boston, they go into the museum, and they figure out, like, there's this big statue in the museum, and they're like, okay, how do we get to wherever we got to get to? They figure out that the moon has to shine in through the window. It hits the statue, then it bounces off of a mirror, and then it comes back to the statue and hits another part of the statue, which unlocks the statue. Right?
Like some Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Type stuff.
Once they unlock the statue, exactly. Once they unlock the statue, they go down into the bottom of under the museum. There's some caves down there. They follow one of the caves. They figure out they got to follow this cave. They follow the cave, right? When they follow the cave, there's this board that goes across, like it just goes across into the blackness. And they walk across the board. There's a swinging axe or something like that they got to get past. It's like an Indiana Jones episode. As they walk across the board, the board starts to disintegrate, right? So they start running across the board. Then they get to this big brick wall where you got to push the bricks in, and it's a code. So they got to figure out what the code is. Atticus' father figures out the code. They get inside. Once they get inside, it starts filling up with water. Right. So now they got to get to the end before it fills up with water. Finally, they get to the end. There's this other wall there, and they figure out how to get through that wall. They get inside. When they get inside, there's a bunch of skeletons of old Native Americans, right? And it's in one of the skeletons, they walk through, one of the skeletons is a skeleton of a lady, and she holds those pages in her hand. When they go to pick up the pages, she starts coming to life.
Wow.
Right? So they show her coming to life, and then when she comes to life, she's a two-spirited Native American, meaning she had titties and she had a penis, right? Yeah, she's a hermaphrodite.
Oh.
All right. But they talk about, how whoever it was, killed her people off, and Atticus is like, well, help us so that he doesn't kill our people off. She goes with him. They go back through the water. They see this elevator, right? Same elevator that's in Letitia's house, right? So they get into the elevator. The elevator actually brings them back to their house. Now, remember, they went to Boston. The house is in Chicago.
Right.
Those caves took them all the way from Boston to Chicago in 2 hours.
Wow.
All right.
That's crazy.
Nice. Hey, Sim.
but that's part of the mysticism of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, Sim.
Right.
And let's stop it right there and let them watch the rest of it. Right? And we can talk about it
Because it gets crazier and crazier. Trust me.
as it goes on. Let me ask you a question.
That was the
Is
fourth
this-
episode. You got 5, 6, and 7. Right.
Is this the way that Black history needs to get bundled into entertainment in order for people to realize the extent of the horror of the real life events that people had to live through back then?
I think it can. I think it can. Right, because now you like me, I'm like a history buff type of person. I love watching movies about history, so I can sit there and watch a movie or a show. I can watch a documentary about history and enjoy it and love it. I can watch a show that's about history, but for some young people, it's boring.
Yeah,
Right? It's boring.
Mhm.
This is the type of thing that they can get into while still learning some things. Now they may have to, someone may have to sit there and talk to them about what the truth is about some stuff.
let me tell you something funny that happened to me in the first episode, right? And it's not funny, but it's funny though, right? I'm watching it, and you were talking about how they're about to get executed in the woods by these racist sheriffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something that I'm sure has happened countless times, and we haven't even heard about it.
Exactly.
And then these it's called Lovecraft Country because it's based on the horrors and the monsters created by H.P. Lovecraft, who was a notorious racist. And so it's like they said like poetic justice to have his name on something black. He's rolling over in his grave, knowing it. But I remember the monsters
irony.
show up to come and eat everybody, and I'm like, oh, thank God the monsters are here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like I was relieved to see a horror science fiction monster show up
Yeah.
and be saving grace for Black people about to become the victim of racism. And I was like,
When he
ain't
was
that
explaining it, I thought like that's why they came. Like I thought the monsters was like the heroes. So I see exactly where you're coming from.
I'm
the
thinking,
only-
I'm thinking
like-
they would have got 8 too, possibly.
But the thing, well, no, as he kept explaining, I realized like they could have got it too.
Right.
But I felt the same thing listening to the story. Like, oh, the monsters saved them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
The
Right.
problem I have, or not necessarily, I don't have a problem with the movies like this. But like Sim said, you gotta have somebody with knowledge sitting there and explaining to them. Like one, I don't want the movie to dilute the history. I don't want them to look at something that is historic, whether it be like historic bad or historic good, but not look at it as a fable, as something not true. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Like, it has to be explained. Like, yo, that really happened. Like the thing with the sheriffs. I mean, not for nothing. That's happening today,
Exactly.
as we all could see. So
Right.
I prefer, like for me personally, I prefer like real historic movies rather than putting a spin on it and putting the entertainment value, I guess. Like I almost want like documentary movies. you know what I mean? Like
I feel
all
you.
I want is
No.
facts.
Yeah.
I
But
feel you.
I'm not mad at movies like that. I think what was The Watchmen? They kind of had that
Yeah.
scene in the beginning. You know what I mean? Historic
Yeah.
scene. So I'm not mad at it, and I know a lot of people that that really enjoyed The Watchmen, and
I love that show.
I definitely I'm talking about like people that don't look like us.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, facts.
Right.
They just found out about Tulsa.
It opened the door to the conversation that that really happened, right? You know what that was based on.
Bro,
right.
I was getting phone calls when that episode came out. Like people that didn't believe me when I was saying it before. Because you know how like as a black person, like I was in college, you know what I'm saying? I was a fan of the Zack Snyder Watchmen movie, right? So aside from that, like in college, I didn't have any black roommates until like my third year. And he didn't even stay for that whole year. So sometimes watching movies and entertainment, things happen in the thing and people are like astonished. And I'm like, oh, well, I mean, that happened to a friend of mine. That happened to this actual person in history. And people heard about the Tulsa Massacre, as I told her. And sometimes white folks just get quiet when you're telling them about black trauma, because they don't want to tell you like, oh man, like aren't you exaggerating, or oh man, are you sure that really happened? Like they don't want to,
because they can't believe they can't believe that
they're capable of such horror
could do some stuff like that.
Right,
they like,
exactly.
My grandfather wouldn't do nothing like that, man. He was a good guy.
I shit you not. That episode of Watchmen came out with the intro being the Tulsa bombing. And I got phone calls like, yo, have you seen Watchmen? Yeah, I seen Watchmen. And I knew about Tulsa since I told you about Tulsa a long time ago. But now that you're seeing it in entertainment, it's like, oh my God, how horrific.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the delivery, the delivery is very smooth how they do some things like you could tell that over time they're slowly building up to the story of Emmett Till.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and it's just like the way that they put it in there, like it's just a feature of their lives, because it really just is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they have to deal with this horror while they contend with these otherworldly horrors. And the entire time you're kind of wondering, damn, like which one's gonna do them in first? You feel me? Is it going to be the horrors of being black in America, or is it going to be the fantasy horrors of monsters and curses and ghosts and
right.
all kinds of stuff like that?
I'm
man.
Man, they gotta deal with both of them.
Yeah.
But yo, if you get a chance, it'd be great if you guys get a chance to watch it, and then maybe we just discuss it again next week. You know what I mean? It'd be great if you could, because the next episodes, I don't want to blow it for you, but just be prepared. I don't want to blow. Just be prepared.
You're killing me, dog. You're killing me.
I don't want to blow for you, because I'm gonna say, okay, the episodes that we watched are crazy, but those next 3 episodes, I don't want to say nothing. I want you to watch them, because it's on some. You're gonna be like, what the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying?
That's an hour a day, and once I find the right stream, I'll probably go through like three episodes at a time. So
yeah, man, because
and it's real interesting because the first 2 episodes really flow into each other very well. Like that really, you could easily watch the first 2 episodes in one sitting and be like, damn.
So it'd be dope if we could all watch it and be caught up to episode 8, and then we can really tackle it.
It's not done.
Nah. It's 10 episodes. 10 episodes. So it's up to episode 7 now. We could watch it, get to episode 8, and then then maybe on Tuesday,
and then everybody
sit down.
Caught up.
Yeah, everybody be caught up together. Comes out every Sunday.
Yeah.
Comes out every Sunday. And something else that just came out, that Fargo.
It's out? Oh,
Fargo
yeah,
is out. Fargo is out.
Ooh.
Fargo is out. So this season 4 of Fargo is out. And it's got
that show was my shit already.
Oh, bro.
What'd you say?
That show was...
Nah, I was thinking when you were saying that, I was like, isn't that old?
It's old. I mean, well, there's 4 seasons. This is the 4th season. Right? But so in this season, it's about a black organized crime unit in Kansas City, Missouri.
Ooh.
Chris Rock is the leader of that unit.
So every season it changed?
Yeah, every season it changes. Yeah, it's a new story every season. They might have a few things that connect, but it changes every season.
Have you seen the other 3 seasons?
No,
I've seen some of the other 3 seasons. I didn't see all of them, but
I've seen some of the first season, and I just lost. You know what I mean? I lost track of it.
yeah.
I became a fan of that show after all 3 seasons were over. I found that show and I was just bored like 2 years ago, bro. And I was watching them. That's a damn good show.
Yeah,
It's a damn good show.
Nah, it's on. You can get it on Hulu. If you go on Hulu, you can catch it on Hulu.
I like Bokeem Woodbine's character in season 2.
Yeah.
He's the guys that he runs with is from Kansas City. So I'm wondering if it's gonna tie in. You feel me?
Well, you know
how season 2 tied into season 1.
Right. Well, I think they said that there are some tie-ins, like nothing deep where you can't watch it and not get the story, but there's some tie-ins, some appearances or whatever. So basically, it's about. I watched 2 episodes so far of season 4, right? And you know, you got the Italian mob, you got the Irish mob, and they exchanged their youngest child to make sure that they respect each other and not go to war, not turn on each other. They end up turning on each other, right? And then and so it kind of takes you. I know you haven't seen it, so I'm not really gonna give out too much. Kind of takes you through time on them exchanging the youngest son until it gets to like 1950, when Chris Rock is the leader of the Black organized unit, and he exchanges his youngest son. You know what I'm saying? And then the eldest Italian, the Italian mob boss, he gets killed. He don't get killed how you think he's gonna get killed. He gets killed. I won't tell you how he gets killed, right? I'll let you go watch it. All right. And so then they are beginning. You know that's kind of where it begins, how it starts off. You know what I mean? And it's so far it's pretty dope.
I was waiting.
So far it's pretty dope.
Drop.
It's out. Yeah, it's out. So far it's pretty dope. I mean,
that's what's up.
So
I'm gonna peep that.
Yeah, I mean that's out now. I think all of the episodes are out now on Hulu, so you can go check it out.
Really, the whole season's out?
I think so. I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I don't quote me. I thought that. I don't know. When I went on there, just skipped right over to the next episode. Then it skipped over to episode 3. I didn't finish watching episode 3, so I don't know.
That's fire.
Yeah.
So I got some stuff to get.
And like Mike Morgan is saying, yeah, it's a true story too. They changed the names of the characters, but it's a true story.
Yeah, every season is like that. It's all based on true events.
Right.
And they change names and stuff.
Yeah.
And oh man, that's a great show.
Yeah. So
did you get a chance to watch that clip I sent you on Charles?
Yeah, I did. I did.
What were your thoughts? And do you think what do you think the reason is, like, it hasn't been that publicized or that popular to talk about?
Which clip are you talking about?
What Charles Barkley said about Breonna Taylor.
Oh, okay.
Or the Breonna Taylor situation.
I remember they was cooking him for like a day and then it was over.
On Twitter though.
Yeah.
But I haven't really seen. I mean, I may not just be up on Twitter as far as like everybody else is. Like, but
oh no, it died off for sure. It died out for sure.
Yeah.
But I would have thought
it was time for him to come back and call the next game. Yeah.
Say it again?
By the time they came back to call that next game, the buzz had died down about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And all this apology talk, and I think that was worthy of an apology, like, absolutely. Or at least some type of clarification, or you know what I mean, where somebody sit down with him and educate him.
I feel like that happens because people expect that kind of foolishness out of guys like Charles Barkley and like Jason Lee Whitlock and stuff like that. So when they say stuff, it's barely even controversial anymore. You feel me? But I was looking for that too, Tony. I was like, what the hell? Like, we was gonna let that one fly by.
Well, what do you want Barkley to say?
Oh well,
what do I want him to say?
I mean, as far as like apology.
I mean, it don't have to be a public apology, honestly. Or let me take that back. Let me walk that back, because I'm not big on apologizing either. Unless I'm not big on forced apologies.
Right.
Like if you feel it, then there's nothing wrong. Like, that's where I'm at with it. If you feel apologetic, or if you know you did something wrong, or you're educated on something you said and then correct it, then I think, at least I'm at that stage where, you know, I'm gonna apologize if I was wrong in something I said,
right,
or something I did, or misinformed. But my thing is, even if that's how you feel, why say that? Like, why?
Right.
What makes TNT the platform, especially with all the players they're doing, all the protesting they're doing? Like, why would you be the voice that
to say
on the other side?
Right. Exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Whatever happened?
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? While an innocent black woman got killed because they do not respect black people in the black community. Bottom line, right? Because we all know everything that happened. You know, if you follow the case, and I do want to say this, we didn't come out and do a show on it because I didn't want to feel like I was just capitalizing off of the news. You know what I'm saying? And just capitalizing, oh, this is the hot story right now, so we're gonna come out and we're gonna talk about Breonna Taylor and that entire investigation and capitalize on it, you know, to get views or anything like that. I didn't want to do that, so that's the reason why we didn't come out and do a whole show on, you know, everything with Breonna Taylor, because I felt like that's what we would have been doing at the time. So, you know, we was like, you know what, we'll just you know, we'll bring it up in a show like this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like at this type of a moment, so that we're not capitalizing on Breonna Taylor. You know,
man, the Front Stoop audience, man. So can I say something? I don't want to cut you off, man. I just want to highlight something, man. Yo, Front Stoop viewers, man. This cat is so sensible and reasonable to the plight of our people. We can't help but be attracted to shows like this that represent us and how we feel. And if you like what you're hearing, man, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? So that more people can enjoy conversations like this one. This man right here, and listen, I ain't trying to sound like I'm capping for him, because I'm not. Y'all know I'm gonna be the realest dude in here. Some stuff I'll say y'all gonna agree with, some stuff y'all not. I'm gonna just be Uncle Freezy. But when Sim say stuff like this and an appeal to y'all, he letting y'all know that he respect y'all, and he want to push these conversations forward. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to do that. He could have been like, that could have been the thumbnail. He like, yo, Breonna Taylor pushing all this stuff out here just to get clicks and views. And my man didn't. The fact that my man just said something like that, I mean, it stirred me up to want to do more to help grow this channel. You know what I'm saying? This ain't even my channel. I'm coming on because you know, my man is gracious enough to have me on, and you know what I'm saying, to spit some of my views and stuff. And if y'all do the same thing, if y'all look forward to getting like the notifications and stuff and want this thing to grow, man, y'all got to hit that like button. We had 25 likes and been on for 87 minutes. You know what I'm saying? This thing should be at least like 70 likes or something, pushing it. You know what I'm saying? So we can continue to grow this thing so that others can share this thing. So when people do searches, this thing can pop up in the search thing, man. So Sim can grow this thing so more people like-minded people can share in this experience. My bad, Sim. I ain't mean to cut you off.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And you know, we did stuff with, you know, George Floyd. It talked about George Floyd and stuff, but I made sure not to monetize those videos. You know what I mean? I just wanted to have that conversation during that time, and you know, felt we should, because it was so much around us that people needed a point in a time to just vent. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. I would like to chime in on the Barkley topic right quick, right?
Right.
I don't necessarily need the apology. I would like an acknowledgement that what happened to her was wrong, regardless of the difference that he sees fit to try to delineate about the situation with her and Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd. I think that's definitely something that would be only just respectful at the very least to do, because what happened that day was you had every single person on program on message. You had Stephen A. Smith on message. You had the whole round table of people in the pregame on message. You had the players on message, and then in a random conversation exchange, when they're talking about the activism of the players, this guy just sees fit to, well, I don't think it's the same as this case and that case. And I'm like, yo, what was the point?
And you know,
what was the point of even throwing that in?
Right. And even if he doesn't, you know, listen, he has the right not to think if he doesn't think it's the same, he has the right to think that. But at the point, you don't have to, you know, if you want to participate in the conversation, you could easily just talked about the system of it. Exactly. Right? Because when you look at, let's put it like this, whether it was a no-knock warrant, knock and tell warrant, if it was a white neighborhood, it wouldn't have went down that way. They would have went, knocked on the door, said, "This is the police. Can I come in?" And it would have been a totally different scenario. But because they knew who they were going to, they knew who they were going after, right? There was no respect for the life of the people that were there. No respect for the children that were in the home, right? It was no respect for the people that was there.
And you know how else you know that they don't respect black people and our lives in general? Because you saw multiple admissions of wrongdoing play out in the public sphere, and then you saw everybody just maintain innocence and maintain that they were doing the right thing when it came to the officers in charging them. You saw the law get passed that banned the no-knock raid, right? Whether it's gone into effect yet or whenever it goes into effect, they passed an ordinance, a law, something like that about those types of raids. Then they paid the settlement money. That's two admissions of wrongdoing.
That's number one.
There, right?
How do you pay them $12 million and not bring a single charge up against any officer?
All right, here's the only way that my bad for cutting you off. Here's the only way that it comes to me that they didn't, because it was the entire system that failed.
Yep.
It was the entire system that failed, from when they went and they got, first it was a no-knock warrant, right? And then it got changed to a knock and tell or a knock and announce warrant.
Yeah.
Right? The officers that actually went and got the warrant were not the officers that executed the warrant.
Right.
Different officers. And then there were officers that didn't even work together in the past. Their first time working together. Right? So you have
are those not charges? That sounds like a charge.
But who's the charge against?
How did that happen? How did two officers get a warrant and then not execute it?
No, that's what I'm saying. So the officers that, like, do those charges go against the officers that got the warrant and didn't go execute it? Right? So
it depends on if they're talking.
I mean, so what I'm saying is this is how, you know, I think the $12 million comes into play, right? Because you have the failure of the entire system, you know, from not executing those warrants correctly, and then the officers go up to the door. It's a knock and reveal warrant, right? Which means you knock on the door, it's the police. You knock on the door, it's the police. They said, we knocked and we didn't say anything. We knocked again, we didn't say anything. This is a video, this is a recorded sound bite from the officers now. And they said the reason why we didn't say anything is because we wanted to give her a chance to open the door. For what? What does it matter? You have a warrant, right? What does it matter if she opens the door willingly or if she opens the door because she knows it's the police? It doesn't matter. You have a warrant. You got the right to search the house. You know what I'm saying? So they did that procedure wrong. They should have knocked and announced as soon as they knocked. Not wait, knock twice, and then decide to announce the third time. You knock and announce. Right? And then you had the whole situation of, it's a state,
the cop that fired.
I mean, it's a state that you can carry a gun.
Right.
It's a stand your ground state. Okay? So now, if someone breaks into your house, you got the right to fire your weapon, which was totally legal. His weapon was legal. You got the right to fire your weapon. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, according to him, he and Brianna did not hear them announce themselves. They're busting in the house. They think that this might be her ex-boyfriend who was a drug dealer.
Who they had the warrant against.
Right. Who they had the warrant against.
A month's old information.
Right. So they bust in the house. He bangs one off. Right. Then they start banging off however many shots they start banging off. Right. Now, with no target in sight, they're just banging them off. No target in sight, they're just banging them off.
Spraying down the crib like it's a fucking,
you know what I'm saying?
War.
You know, so those are all wrong procedures by the officers.
Right.
They also are supposed to separate the officer involved in the shooting away from the crime scene, but then like yesterday or today or something, it came out with body cam footage.
Right. No body cam.
That same guy.
So you have no body cams to know whether or not they actually announced themselves or never, because the officers say that they announced themselves on the third knock.
They have one guy say that.
Right.
One witness.
One person.
They have one witness. They have one witness that corroborates that.
And 12 that didn't, and that one witness already slipped.
So I mean, you know, so you have a total breakdown of the entire police office. That's the reason why they got the $12 million, from the way I see it, because there's a total breakdown of the entire police office from the beginning to the end. They even put out a freaking report that said that there were no shots fired, that Breonna Taylor was not injured. Nobody was injured.
Yep. Right. While they were interrogating her boyfriend and trying to get him to confess to being the one that shot her.
You know, so it's like, you know, I mean,
as if that wasn't enough. One more thing, Sim, as if that wasn't enough. Now they filed a motion to have the recordings of the grand jury proceedings released, because once they saw the announcement that the Attorney General made and his accounts given of the events, talking about how this cop got shot in the leg. The cop didn't get shot in the leg during that raid, right? Even in the situation where he did get shot, the round that he got shot with, that they're saying he was shot with, was a full metal jacketed round, and all that her boyfriend had when he was firing back, that one shot was hollow tip rounds. So how you get hit with a full metal jacket by someone firing hollow tip round?
So you saying one of the cops shot another cop? Friendly fire?
I don't know when and where that cop got shot. Yeah. I don't know how right it is, but all I know is that for months the story was that it went one way, and now suddenly there's a cop shot, right, in the leg. And then when they saw his announcement of the charges and how it went down, they're like, well, that doesn't jive with what happened in the grand jury proceedings. So now we feel compelled to release the recording of the grand jury proceedings.
Yeah, I mean, you have
you
have a total breakdown of the police department. Total breakdown from the top to the bottom.
So are some things? So are you saying some things are being covered up?
100%.
I mean, something is being covered. I mean, they tried to cover up. They tried to cover it up with that phony report.
We've seen multiple attempts to cover up.
I mean, it's been a total breakdown of the police department. You know what I'm saying? A total breakdown of that police department, which resulted in the death of Breonna Taylor.
The breakdown of the entire system, which trickled down to the police department. But
so there has to be, so it has to be, everybody wants the conviction of one of the officers, or all of the officers to go to prison for whatever. But this has to go deeper than that, in my opinion. It has to go to breaking down this entire police department and even above and beyond, because clearly if this happened, you see the way this played out in the public's eye now. How many other victims did this happen to that we don't know about in this police department? Obviously across the nation, but this police department should really be used as an example, because it was a total breakdown from the top to the bottom. From the top to the bottom, because the men that were out there executing the warrant shouldn't even have been out there. It should have been the men who filed for the warrant. They should have been out there, because they had an idea of who was in the house, that there were children in the house, right? They had all the particulars on all the details.
Wait a minute, so it was children in the house too?
There were children in the house.
Oh my.
Okay, from the top to the bottom. I mean, this has to be this police department. There should be an example made. There really needs to be.
There were children in the house.
Yeah, there really needs to be an example made. Bullets flying over the children, man. There really needs to be an example made of this entire police department. I don't know how or what, but because it's you have that, and then of course the disrespect. There's a documentary that's on Hulu, I think from the New York Times, and it talks about how years ago they wanted to clean up this area of
us.
I've seen the whole Vice News. Vice News got a whole joint on it.
Right, and so they started to, they started their version of stop and frisk, which they pulling people over in cars, just stopping them, searching their cars. I mean, and calling themselves cleaning up the neighborhoods, and you got to see it. So now leads into, we just got to get these people out of here so that we can gentrify these neighborhoods. So we're going to get them out of here. I don't care if we got to arrest them. We're going to find a way to arrest them. We're going to get them out of here. You know what I'm saying? So it leads to the whole disrespect of this community. And, it's got to be, I know everybody wants the conviction of, these men. But even if, somehow things are overturned and you get the conviction of these officers, it's got to be more than just that, because this entire police department is terrible.
Right. It's the whole legal system. It's the overzealousness about the warrant.
Yeah.
The whole overzealousness about the warrant from go is fishy to me. You know what I'm saying? That you go get it and it's not right. You got to get it changed. Then you get it, and then somebody else got to deliver. Now you shooting in people's houses with kids in there. You kill somebody. To me, the whole system needs to be. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tony.
This is what they need to do. The judge who wrote the warrant, he needs to get a charge. The two officers who got the judge to sign the warrant but weren't a part of the rape, they need to get a charge. You put the charges on everybody on every level, and this way now everybody knows I'm going to be held accountable. Now the next judge might not want to be so lenient to sign a warrant without maybe reading it or without just skimming through it. And maybe next time this officer is not going to try to trick this judge to sign this warrant, knowing that he's not even going to be the one executing it.
But Tony, they do it to us. You exactly right, because it's done to us. Like if Tony give me a ride and we get pulled over and I got weed in my pocket, guess what? It's weed in the car. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in Tony's car.
Everybody, yeah. I mean, but those guys that went and got the initial warrant, and then now whoever said you guys aren't going to execute the warrant, these people are. Right. That person needs some consequences, right? Because if I'm the sheriff, if I'm lead sheriff, whatever it's called, and Tony and Savvy, they went and they got the warrant, and I'm gonna say to you two, I'm gonna say you guys go execute the warrant. Right. You can pick up if you need some backup. You can say, all right, I need 2 other guys. Find your guys, but you two better be there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To execute this warrant, because you know everything, you have all the details. To send out people who didn't execute who send out people who don't know anything about the case and they don't work together.
Right.
And you didn't check up on that situation months and months and months coming. You know what I'm saying? Like what kind of shoddy ass detective work is that?
You know, like I mean, so it's a failure from the top to the bottom, man. It's crazy, and that's how they do. That's how they do black people in black neighborhoods. And now,
let me tell you what happened. It's goddamn amateur hour over there, and they got a chance to feel like some Rough Riders, and they was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna bust down this door and rope up these dope boys," and that's not what happened. They found an innocent family at home. College
educated family.
One of them is EMS, a lifesaver.
College educated family.
Going out there saving lives, and got her life took and couldn't even get no first aid.
So I mean,
that's part of why I was so upset with the Charles Barkley comments, because what he said was, oh well, people got to understand that her boyfriend shot the police first, but not explaining that it is a stand your ground state.
Exactly.
And that combined with a no-knock warrant is a recipe for disaster. Like if you're gonna paint one narrative, like paint the entire portrait.
You gotta tell the whole thing, because what the only thing that I don't even want to say what I gathered what he was thinking, but didn't know how to say it. Right? He should have just, if that's what it is, he should have just said nothing, because he should have just said nothing. Right? I mean, obviously there's a difference within the cases. Every case is going to be different. Right? With George Floyd, it was an intentional murder.
Yeah.
With Ahmaud Arbery, it was an intentional murder. Was this an intentional murder? Maybe it wasn't an intentional murder.
I have no problem with him saying that.
Right? Maybe it wasn't an intentional murder, but it does not mean that the system didn't set it up for these guys to kill her.
Right.
And get away with
it. And get away with it, right? Because maybe it wasn't an intentional, like, okay, we're going to go and we're going to kill this lady tonight. Right? It may not have been an intentional murder, but the way things were set up and the disrespect of the community, the non-caring for black lives, the faultiness of the police department, all led up to Breonna Taylor being murdered.
And there's a certain unique taste of evil here, and let me point out why. In the case of Ahmaud Arbery, you see him hunted down by 2 civilian racists, whatever. I bet that should be cut and dry in a healthy society as to how they handle that. It should be cut and dry how they handle what happened in Minneapolis with George Floyd. But I've told people about falsification of police reports. about bullshit interrogation tactics and just lying ass police in general, and you don't really get believed. But then we all got a front row seat to how these people falsified the police report and tried to interrogate the boyfriend into confessing to a murder that he didn't commit. His girlfriend that he didn't even know was dead yet, right? And we all got a front row seat to that, and people are still trying to cape for these officers like they're doing the right thing. I'm like, what? Like, even the proof is not proof to them anymore.
Yeah.
It just exposes the fact that they never cared about the proof in the first place. They might have been believing us all along, saying the thing because they know how it's supposed to be. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to work. Good. But on the facade, I'm going to act like, oh, nah, I don't believe that. The cops are typically pretty honest. No. Now we all see them get exposed, and people are still clinging on.
The dude who got the wanton charges.
Endangerment, Brett Hankinson.
He
got out in 30 minutes?
But he sexually assaulted. There were reports of him sexually assaulting women.
Oh yeah. Oh, bro.
Who's this?
Brett Hankinson.
Yeah.
Brett Hankinson.
Sexually assaulting
women. The one
women.
that was charged with wanton endangerment. And that guy spent 30 minutes in jail from the time he was booked to the time he posted bond and got released. I posted bond.
The guy who actually got the charge? We're still talking to Breonna.
Yeah. The guy who got
talking Breonna Taylor, right?
Yep, the guy who got the charges.
And it's funny that it's funny you say this, because I wasn't aware of that, but I was just about to ask you, do you think them putting the charge, like, granted, I had no idea about this. I was just gonna ask you, do you think them putting the charges on this guy was them saying, hey, we gotta do something?
Yeah.
Or was it like a blatant smack in the face, like, oh, we got something for them, we're gonna give them a charge, right? But it's not even gonna be, you know what I mean? It's gonna be about the neighbor, the bullet that went through the wall and hit the neighbor's house, like. Because to me, I felt like those charges was a blatant disrespect. But now hearing this, it was probably, we're gonna kill two birds with one stone.
And first of all, most of these cops is repeat offenders.
Yeah, so he had multiple reports from citizens about his behavior, which were covered up, right? And then this one girl, when she seen him on the news, she said, yeah, this is the cop that picked me up, had his hand on my knee, and blah, 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 blah. She reported it, put it on Instagram. Then some other girls came out and said, yeah, this guy sexually assaulted me in this house and da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it could have been, we're going to get I don't know, Tony. It could have been we're going to get this guy, or it could have been, we're going to try to just appease them,
I think it was both. I think it was maybe kill three birds with one stone. It's a slap in the face for the black people anyway. We're going to get this guy off the street because we're tired of having a cover for him, and he's a liability.
Yep.
And yeah, man.
He the fall guy. Basically, they saying we're not gonna get all of them, but since this
his bullet didn't go into her.
No, I know it went into the wall.
His bullets, His bullets aren't the one that hit her.
Yeah, he's basically charged with endangering the
other
neighbors.
People. Right. Because basically, I guess he went into the window. He was just shooting all willy-nilly. You know what I'm saying?
Man. It was just dumping in the crib.
But granted, he hit no one.
But he didn't hit nobody. But the thing is, I guess what they're saying, I don't know. I guess what they're saying is that the other officers had a target. He just shot, didn't have a target. Was just shooting, just cuz.
Right.
So they like, yo, we can't arrest Andy, so we just gonna arrest Bonnie, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't Andy too good, but Bonnie, we can find Bonnie anywhere. So
even if you are the fall guy, go ahead, get booked and processed, post bail, and you'll be out in 30 minutes before the booking papers can even be properly settled. Because I tell you,
you still in the union, but you're gonna have to take this one for the you know, for the boys in blue.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So
Spend 30 minutes.
It's crazy, man. We'll see where it continues, how it continues. But it's wild. It's wild. But
it's frustrating to me that I can't get all the information from one place. Like I get bits and pieces of information about this case from different things. Like it's intentionally, delivered sparse in order for us not to connect the dots.
Well,
it's crazy.
I would like for this grand jury reports to come out, tapes to come out, whatever, so we can hear that. That'll be
very illuminating, because we've seen this story change 4 or 5, 6 times by now.
And the only thing that ain't changed and ain't gonna change is that she's dead.
Right.
And she should not be.
It's the only thing that's not gonna change. And they didn't even search the house. They didn't even search the house.
Does anybody know why? Like why Jason Whitlock is it? Did he get fired from ESPN? Did he leave or what?
I don't know, man.
They didn't renew his contract on like Fox Sports or whatever network he was on.
Wasn't he on Speak for Yourself as well?
Yeah. Yep, he was on Speak for Yourself.
I'm not familiar with that show.
That's ESPN, isn't it?
I try to avoid anything with his name on it.
That's Fox. Speak for Yourself is Fox, yeah.
But when I told that story, I didn't even read it because I was like, I bet like I don't need him to continue to have a platform and to enable the anti-black sentiment and all of the white audiences that watch that show.
That coonery one.
Let me tell you this. I always watched that show, but I always disliked him on the show. Like I watched it to hear everybody else's opinion. And I always knew, like, all right, here he go. He gonna say something I don't like.
Right.
Tony, you know it's bad when even the white person on the set is disgusted with the coonery.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Well, here's the thing. His new show, and I don't, for the life of me, I don't know why I've clicked on it about 3 times already, and I know every time I click on this guy, is gonna be something I don't like. I could tell by the headline half the time.
Right.
But
I remember he saw the first episode of The Shop, and they were like, "Oh, like, did you hear the great conversations he was having with Rich Paul and so?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I heard all that cussing LeBron was doing." I'm like, bro. Who ask you?
He's gonna be one of the ones that come out 3 years from now and been sexually assaulted women his whole life or something crazy. Watch.
Bro, I know.
All the garbage he talk. Watch. And then he throw his ass under the jail.
The first thing I clicked on him on his new show was actually pertaining to the George Floyd situation. And I recall, I don't remember exactly what he said. I know I didn't agree 100% with what he said, but I know he broke down and he was crying and he was talking about something personal in his life. So I don't know if me watching that was made the video not that bad for me.
Uh-huh.
But then I've watched 2 other videos from him on his new show. It's called. I probably shouldn't even say what it's called because
we won't have to plug it.
Yeah, just if y'all want to see it, go look it up. Just type in Jason Whitlock. It should come up.
He's talking about Russell Wilson. I guess he had Breonna Taylor's name on his helmet. And then after the game, he spoke about him having daughters, and his daughters could be Breonna Taylor. I didn't see exactly what Wilson said, but I did see Whitlock's reaction, and it was like horrible. He talks about how much he loves Wilson, and he's a great guy and good role model, but hates the comments that he said. And what he should have said is, I don't want my daughters to grow up and date a drug dealer and put herself in positions where she has to have interactions with the cops that may lead to, like, all this stuff is what he said. And so I'm listening and I'm just getting, infuriated. Like, dude,
yeah.
Like, I don't know if you have a daughter. Nobody wants their daughter to date a drug dealer. Nobody wants their daughter to date anybody who's going to be a bad influence on them.
And even if she's dating men that have a poor background or like a line of criminal activity, I still don't want my daughter who's peacefully, innocently resting in her home to be gunned down by the police.
Again, it's victim blaming. Like that's what I'm
no doubt.
To. Like
I don't care what they're cooking in that house.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know, at some point, there has to come a point. And I'm not just talking about this situation, but any situation where as an officer, you have to say it. Yeah, maybe they got drugs in that home, but the life ain't worth it. Maybe this guy stole a candy bar, but his life ain't worth it. I can wait to get him another day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna put innocent people in danger. I'm not gonna kill somebody because of a loose cigarette. You know what I mean? Like there has to come a point when, you're just like, all right, it's not worth it.
Let me give you a quick anecdote about something that happened to me in Miami while I was in college, right?
Yeah, we'll end it on this.
I was paying with cash at the corner store across the street. And I had been trying to put this same bill in the ATM and it kept coming back. I'm like, okay, whatever. I go in and I pay with that bill in the store. And the person tells me, oh, like, I'm pretty sure this is like, you know what I'm saying? It's counterfeit or whatever. I'm like, damn, word? Like, that's messed up. I was just trying to put that in the ATM and it wasn't working for me at all. And they're like, oh, yeah, but don't even sweat it. It happens pretty commonly. Big city environment. Somebody counterfeits some bills or somebody takes a cash payment or something and they got fake money mixed in with the real money and it just circulates from person to person, right? And what they do is they still bust it down, give you your change, and they report the bill itself and put it out of circulation, but they don't criminalize the person.
Right.
You feel me? Because that could happen to anybody. Who's to say that he didn't take a cash payment for something, right? Allegedly they say that he tried to pay with a counterfeit $20 bill, a 20, right? I'm like, who's to say that he's the one in the lab counterfeiting the bills himself? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He probably found out right there on the spot at the same time as they did.
Right.
Yeah.
And I still don't even see how that correlated to the pullover, right, itself. Because if he's already gone and he's getting pulled over, right, how does that correlate from a call made inside of a grocery store? You know what? Like it's a big mess. The thing is that it could happen to anybody.
Right. No doubt.
It could literally happen to anybody. You take some cash payment for something, and chances are, if you've dealt with cash and you're above the age of 25 right now, that you touch some funny money and pass it around a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. Listen, man. Great topics, great conversations tonight, man. And next week we're gonna double it up. We're gonna break down Donald Trump's platinum plan. $500 billion platinum plan for Black America. We're gonna break it down and talk about it next Tuesday, man. 9:00.
Yes, sir.
I'll be on time.
We're gonna break it down and talk about it. I'm gonna make sure I send everybody the plan. You know what I mean? So you can look at it. We're gonna do some research. We're gonna come with it. We're gonna talk about it. Donald Trump's platinum plan for Black America. We're going to talk about that next Tuesday, 9:00. The video's already up. The video is already there. All you got to do is click on it and, make sure you set your reminders. So that's going to be a good conversation. We're going to have a lot to talk about. You know what I mean?
Sure,
but
sure.
I'm gonna head up out of here, fellas, man. I appreciate you guys. Everybody that's here. Please make sure you hit those like buttons. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I mean, make sure that you get yourself ready for next week. You know what I mean?
Hey, Sim, you mind if I plug something before we go? You mind if I plug something?
Hey,
yo,
1 second, Freezy. One second, Freezy. Hey, Chuck, do me a favor, man. I'm just email me, and it's all good. All right. Okay. So Chuck Allen, asking to get in the chat. So, just email me, buildknowledge07@gmail.com, and we can make it happen.
Crowd participation.
Damn right. Hey, and so what I wanted to plug is Big Brother, Little Brother. So Sim got this thing going on, man. This thing gonna be huge, y'all. This thing is gonna be huge. Yeah, Big Brother, Little Brother. Make sure y'all find it, you know what I'm saying, and subscribe to the channel and like, so that we can have these conversations about the Giants and Jets being sorry as hell, and the Mets and Yankees and the Knicks and them cats that play ball, in that other place, in the Mets and Yankees. And just want to throw a thing out there. So I have this channel. I have two of them, Blarn's Tears, where I talk, Mets and Knicks and some other stuff, and Chop It Up TV, where I had Sim on, and my mama loved it. She loved the one with Savvy D, and she loved the one with Sim. She really loves Savvy D, but the thing is for conversations and stuff, like the adult stuff, like just regular stuff, y'all come visit your man Uncle Freezy at Chop It Up. I ain't trying to take up some time. I just appreciate the fact that he came on the show. And my homeboy, all the frats love the one Simmons on. You know what I'm saying? If y'all enjoy conversations like that, you'll come check out your man.
No doubt. And no doubt. And I'll be back on there more. So make sure you go check it out. And do me a favor, man, as much as you can, if you could stop by that 24/7 stream every once in a while, everybody stop by whenever you can and just, chop it up a little bit. We trying to get people in there. You know what I'm saying? This is actually streaming on that right now. What I might do is I might, every once, find a way to have just a meetup, every day at 3:00, everybody meet up at the stream and just chat about something, try to do something like that, trying to get it going a little bit. But I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys. And, you know what I'm saying? I will catch you actually Thursday. I'll catch you Thursday for Underground Radio. Man.
Hip hop.
Appreciate y'all, man. Be peaceful.
Blackest time, son, keep doing your thing. Shout out to the chat.
People need free counseling.
No doubt about it, man.
And we
gonna keep it rocking.
They say some rights pass, we need a free counting for this free counseling. Free counseling. My people need free counseling. And weed ounces. They say some rights pass, we need a recounting. For this free counsel, peace over pussy. If I can have both of them, chase some women follow the footsteps of the older men to fill in the gaps. And I tried to fuck the pain away. I realized the more things change, the more it stays the same. Feed me propaganda, spitting out the watermelon seeds into the camera. Machiavelli tats, I lift my shirt when I stand up. Palms on the metal wall, and you can see the handprint. Heavy is the weight of the crown, and I stayed up, overthinking on the brink of tears will fill a sink up. Couldn't get dried up with the money in a brink truck. I couldn't buy my happiness with riches, come to think of the ball. Kiss me teeth, I'm in that back. How many years they gon' set back? Give back what you get black. They set traps, and you gon' let that thing clap like being black. And just to get your bling back, no need much investigation. Niggas commit crimes for reparations. Country ain't give it, so they take it. Pardon the pessimism and reckless vision. Eternal rest, no longer label a prison to me. I need that free counseling. My peoples need that free counseling. Weed ounces. They say some rights pass, we need a recounting for that free counseling. Free counseling. My peoples need that free counseling. And weed ounces. They say some rights pass, we need a recounting for that free counseling.
I got addictions, I got bad ways about me. I need to talk and get this pain from about of me. It's hard to talk to the ones that I know, cause I don't wanna be judged, just wanna let things go. So can I trust you when I tell you how I feel inside? I usually drink away the pain, I usually smoke, get high. But if you guarantee this first session here, that's free. You keep these secrets to yourself and let me be me. I spill the beans, I swear to God, it's what I needed. So much depression can come from my spirit living with demons. All up in my body, yeah, they rock me to sleep. I was a kid, I wanna kill, I wanna make shit bleed. Dreaming of ways I can murk these fucking bitch made cowards. Nothing but hate in my heart, I wanna switch blade cowards. My mom used to find my lyrics on my raps back then. You'd be surprised how I express this anger off of a pen. See, counseling round here, that ain't an option that we raised by. Rather bust a nut up in some pussy, let the time fly. Chase bitches, chase money, live life fast. Anything just to escape this pain and delicate path I'm on. Niggas dying, close friends locked. JP's gone, he was only 16. Damn, it's such a sad song. Who the hell I talk to when this shit goes sour? I got these walls in my room. Fuck it, I think the streets can relate. Fuck it, I think these fiends can relate. Get your numbers up, turn them fucking grams to weight, and keep your belly stuffed. If I can reverse these times, I'll take that free counseling any day, anytime.
Free counseling. My peoples need that free counseling. And weed ounces. They say some rights pass, we need a recounting for that free counseling. Free counseling. My peoples need that free counseling. And weed ounces. They say some rights pass, we need a recounting for that free counseling. Free counseling.